Let me share my screen quickly. Okay. Guys, please confirm me whether you can see my screen or not. I'm sharing my screen. Make it quick, guys. Able to see my screen? Okay, good, good. Okay. Okay. So, see, guys, I think there are three category of people here. One is you might be from my previous batch. You attended my the sessions earlier, and maybe you might have stuck in between and then you wanted to rejoin. So I asked everyone to join this session because it's a 3 hour workshop. So you'll be learning everything at one go. Okay. The one category. The second category, you already attended my previous batch demo and might be enrolled my sessions as part of January. In the January month, we started new batch, right? So you might have already enrolled. So I requested everyone to join here because for all of you, again, if you already enroll or maybe if you are part of my previous batches, right? So you already understood this framework, okay? Or maybe if you are new to the January batch, you will be learning this in detail in the future classes. Okay, don't worry about it. So today just a workshop. If you understood, that's fine. If you don't understand, we cover in detail in the our regular sessions. Don't no need to worry. The third group, third category, you are completely new to this automation or maybe my classes, right? So I'll try to make this session more interactive for all three of the groups. So if you already some intermediate knowledge on Python, or you just joined my sessions, or maybe you are completely new to the Python, right? For all of you, I'll try to explain in detail. You will understand at the end of the session. So end of the session, you will understand how to implement the framework, at least basic version of the framework, not the advanced one, at least basic version you'll understand. Okay. So that is the agenda of this session. So before we jumping directly into the demo, right, let me discuss who we are. Okay. So we are ETL Automation Labs. So you might have seen my YouTube channel, ETL Automation Labs, Hanuman Tech Solutions. Both are same. No need to get confused between Hanuman Tech Solutions and then ETL Automation Labs. So both are same. We are from ETL Automation Labs, and you can also consider Hanuman Tech Solutions. Okay. Okay. So coming to our journey. So as I mentioned, right, so we are ETL Automation Labs, and we also named it as Hanuman Tech Solutions in the market. So we started our automation journey back in 2017. Earlier, we were giving automation training with the help of only Pandas frameworks, and then later we started teaching automation frameworks outside world back in 2021. There we were teaching Pandas framework with some basics about PySpark. In 2022, we seen this trend, like many of the companies are looking for ETL automation roles. So that's where we started automation training for outside of the world. So initially we started with our solutions. Like we have registered one company, Hanuman Tech Solutions, and with the help of this company, we started teaching offline, online, and then corporate trainings. Okay. So as part of this, right, so we were giving automation training by using Python, PySpark, PyTest, and advanced frameworks. So depending on the client requirement, we were providing automation training. And we branded our name as ETL Automation Labs. Now, if you see my YouTube channel, it's ETL Automation Labs. We don't regularly upload the sessions, but you will see ETL Automation Labs on YouTube channel, where we were uploading demo sessions information, or if we start any new batch, we are giving some information there. Okay, so this is all about ourselves. If you ever see ETL Automation Labs, Hanuman Tech Solutions, even we have registered one more company now, EAL Next AI Tech Solutions. So all are same. Okay, this is ourselves. Coming to the next 1 hour agenda, right? Next 1 hour to 3 hour agenda. So next 3 hours agenda. So first we'll understand why we need ETL automation, right? If you are already attended my sessions, you already know why we need ETL automation, but we will cover again. Okay. So and then course content, we'll discuss to learn this ETL automation, what details we need, like course content will cover, and then framework overview, I'll give framework overview, and then hands-on workshop we do. Okay, hands-on workshop we do. Okay, let's directly jump into why we need ETL automation. Okay, so if you see the trends in the market, right, for the last 5 6 years, or most of the clients are moving to the cloud platforms. Like it can be Databricks environment, it can be AWS, Azure, GCP, or there are so many like Palantir. Okay, there are so many technologies came into market which are on the cloud, right? But when we were working the traditional systems like Informatica, Oracle DB, which is hosted in the Unix servers or Windows servers. Okay, so data will be stored on the traditional servers like Unix server, Windows server, or Linux servers, right? So there we don't need any kind of storage optimization like data stored in the Parquet files, Avro files, all of it, right? So because of the variations, because of the cloud evolution in the market, so the storage got changed. The way the way the files are getting stored, the way data is getting stored is got changed. Okay. So most of the cloud data will get stored in the variety of files. So it can be CSV file, Parquet file, Avro file, JSON files, right? So data will be stored in the variety of forms. So earlier it was only like CSV files or maybe in the databases. Now the data got changed, the storage got changed, guys. Okay, so because of which now the companies are looking for ETL tester with some basic Python knowledge. So basic Python knowledge. So here, how many of you worked with the Parquet files, guys, how many of you worked with the Parquet files? Use the chat box. Sapan, okay. What about others? Yes. Okay, how many of you worked with the Parquet files? I see only few responses. Okay, okay, yes, yes, no, no, okay, okay. That's when I see few of you are using Parquet files, and few mentioned they were not like they didn't use Parquet files. Okay, so if you open any Parquet file in your local laptop, for instance, if you have Notepad plus plus, right? Notepad plus plus one is the widely used editor for any project. So if you open the Parquet file in your local machine, the file will open, but data will be displayed in the encrypted format. How many of you experienced this, guys? So I think few of you mentioned, yeah, you guys are using Parquet file. So if you open the Parquet file, how data look like? Will you able to see the data directly, right? Let me show you the hand, like why instead talking theoretically, let me show you one file. Um, okay. I'm just opening one file. Okay. I'm just opening the file, guys. Okay. Let me bring that file. Okay. Okay. So this is the Parquet file. You can see the extension. Okay, extension user data one dot Parquet. It's a Parquet file. So you can only open this file in the paid editor tools or maybe in the Python, PySpark language or Scala language. Okay. So there is a data in this file. So there is a data in this file. This file is in the encrypted format. You can't open from your local applications. You try to use Notepad plus plus, Notepad, Word document, or maybe you can use any tool that you have in your local. Okay, except the proprietary tool. You can't open this data. So data inside this file is in the tabular format, but we can't view this data, right? So not just this file. So we have Avro file, the same. If you open this, right, the file will get opened, but you can't see the data. You can't read the data, right? So this files come into the market because the cloud has changed. The storage got changed in the cloud platform. Okay. So these files we give more security. Okay. And then compressed format. So data is in the compressed format now. So no one can view the data now. So especially you can only read this data when you know Python language, when you know Java language, when you know Scala, when you know PySpark. So other than this, if you try to open from your local machine, you can't do it. Okay. So because of this, this is the one of the reason, guys. So, this is the one of the reason why companies are looking for a ETL tester with basic Python knowledge. So if you don't know Python now, you can't even search for the job in the market. So that is the reason now every ETL tester need a Python knowledge, at least basic Python knowledge to survive in the industry. Okay. So this is one of the reason. Let me go back to my slides. Once, yes. One moment, guys. Okay. So variety of files and then real-time validations. So variety of files I've shown one file. The likewise you can open, like you can see CSV file, and you can open JSON file. Again, JSON is a widely used when there is a data in the like streaming data, right? So you can open the JSON file and data is not in the tabular format. So when the JSON data is loaded to the target, right? In the target like table, or maybe in the again one more file like CSV file in the target, right? So here data in the JSON format, the other side data in the tabular format. We cannot compare these two. At least if it is CSV, CSV is some kind of in the tabular format. You can use some Excel formulas to compare the data. If data in the JSON, like JSON files format or XML file format, very difficult to do the ETL testing. How many of you have experienced this issue, guys? Files, your source file is JSON or XML file and target is a database. How many of you experienced this? Guys, use the chat box. If you have worked on JSON versus table, just use yes button or no, otherwise no. No. Guys, respond, be interactive in the class. No, no. Okay. So now maybe JSONs are less used in the market compared to the Parquet, but eventually most of the clients look for real-time processing. So like Kafka streaming, right? So that time you get the opportunity to work with the JSON files. If your source is JSON file and target is a table, then again it is very difficult to validate it. So even if it is CSV and then target is a database, bit challenging to work on this kind of source and targets, right? File versus database. So you might face some challenges. You will be able to validate it, but you might face some challenges. Okay? So that's where now companies looking for ETL testers with some basic Python knowledge, with some basic PySpark knowledge, right? So if you go to market now, any JD, you open it ETL tester JD, they'll mention knowledge on Python, knowledge on PySpark, knowledge on Scala, knowledge on Java, at least one programming language, because of this reason. Okay, so if you don't know Python, if you don't know Java, if you don't know Scala, right, very difficult to open this file, very difficult to test only. You cannot test the data, right? Because you can't open the file, how you will test it? Okay, so that's the reason how companies looking for ETL testers with some basic knowledge on Python. Okay, and then real-time validations. Earlier, batch will be run weekly once or monthly once or quarterly once or fortnight, right? So we were actually doing maybe sanity test after every job is run in the production. But now, so the load will happen every 6 hours. Load will happen every one day, every alternate day or weekly, monthly, right? So every type batch processing, it can be day, it can be hourly processing, it can be monthly processing, it can be quarterly processing, yearly processing. For every different job, we have to automate it. So nothing should be manual when it went to the production, right? So we have to do the real-time validations. If there is any job executed today, so immediately after job execution, you need to do some certain validations like count is matching between the source and target, and then data quality checks like this column should have only these values, or this column should not have any null values. There should not be any duplicates in the data set, right? Those kind of real-time validations we have to perform after each run in the production, right? So real-time validation. Now companies are looking for ETL tester who can does the real-time validations, not just manually sanity testing all the time. Okay. So that is killing testers time as well as project time. So eating project time as well. That's why companies are looking for ETL tester who can do the real-time validations by using Python, PySpark, Java, Scala, right? Not just only Python, any language, but they need one resource who can do real-time validations. Yes, that is the one more reason. Okay. So the next reason why testers need automation skill, right? So handle massive data volume efficiently. So if you remember, maybe when you started, maybe if you have 10 years of experience, 15 years of experience, or 5 years of experience, right? Before COVID, if you see, if you go to most of the projects, you might deal the data with the synthetic data, like some kind of data that you created manually. Data setup you do, right? 10 record, 20 record, 100 record, depending on your test case scenarios. So when you eventually after COVID, right? Most of the clients looking for data processing, how it is working in the production like environment. Like not just only synthetic data. Synthetic data is fine. It might work for like your project might work with the synthetic data in the lower environment. But when it comes to the production, clients seeing some issues with the real time data. Like some if you process some millions of data, like 5 million, 10 million, 20 million data. So systems are failing, like non-functional requirement, like performance is not tested properly, or you might have tested some data which is not happening in the production, right? Something like that. So if you do with the synthetic data, only few issues can be found in the lower environment, but a real-time validation is needed for the productions with a huge amount of data. So that's where now clients are looking a person who can do data testing using huge amount of data. So creating manually like some millions of data, it is challenging, right? So that's where again Python will help you to create the synthetic data, which will generate automatically some millions, billions of records for you, right? So normal testing, functional testing we does by using synthetic data with 10 record, 20 record. So when it comes to the production like environment testing in the UAT or pre-prod environment, right? We have to test your data. You have to test your pipeline with huge amount of data, some millions to billions of records. So there we will use the Python language to create the synthetic data, which is in the huge volume, and then we validate it. That is the scenario one in the massive. And even once data is moved to the production, once pipeline is getting executed in the production, again there we have to do the real-time validations. So when we do the real-time validations, manually bit difficult, bit challenging, right? Queries might take like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. So clients will not wait to switch the environments, right, from pre-prod to prod, right? So that's where again, so we have to use some kind of automation tool to do the validation, okay? To do the validation for the huge amount of data, okay, and improve. So once we do all this variety of files validation using Python, creation of data, synthetic data, all these things, right? So obviously your accuracy will increase, right? Your project accuracy will increase and reusability will also increase. So once you create the automation script, so you will reuse. You don't need to run again and again, same code again and again, right? Same SQLs again and again. So that's where Python will help you to automate your ETL testing. Okay. So not 100% we can automate, at least 95% we can automate, guys. Okay. So starting from test data creation till the production like environment validation, we can do using automation. Okay. Clear so far, everyone? Use the chat button, guys. Use the chat box. Clear so far? Why we need? You see the importance, right? Okay, you might be having question. Okay, Srina, I don't want to upskill myself. I'll stay as a ETL tester now, right? Maybe after 2 to 3 years, you need to quit the IT job. There is no other way. Either you need to switch your career to some this role to another role, or learn the ETL testing with automation. So there is no other thing that you can do now. So if you are already working as a ETL tester, or if you are working as a manual tester, so the next thing you need to do immediately is upskill yourself from manual ETL tester to ETL automation tester. There is no other way. After 2 to 3 years, most of the roles, all the roles will become only automation testers. No functional ETL testers. Okay. Okay. So this is the typical ETL architecture diagram. On the left side, you see like the data sources like CSV file, Arrow file, Parquet file, JSON file. And some projects will have databases, some projects will have Kafka streaming, and some projects will have combination of these three, all three. Some projects will have combination of these two. Okay. So depending on the client, the combinations will change. Some projects will have only files, some projects will have only databases. So in the databases, again, different databases, okay, not the same database. Okay, one moment. One moment, guys. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so yeah, what I was explaining. So this is the typical ETL architecture diagram, and this is not accurate architecture diagram. Some project will have different data sources like CSV files and then databases and then Kafka streaming. Some projects will have combination of these, like combination, like right? So some will have only CSV files and then database and then Kafka streaming, or only Kafka streaming, or only databases, or only CSV files and then Parquet files. And in the middle, you see the transformation layers like bronze, silver, gold. This is the Mendelian architecture. And you can change this layer branch to landing zone to raw layer to curated layer. Okay, names will vary, but you will find similar transformation layers. Okay, these are the transformation layers. Once data is transformed, then you will see the downstream applications like reporting, front-end apps, okay, front-end applications, and then machine learning algorithms. Okay. So these are the downstream applications. So this is the typical ETL architecture, but again, project to project, architecture will vary, and then use cases will vary, and then layers will vary. Some will have 10 layers, some will have 5 layers, some projects will have 2 layers, some projects will have only 1 layer. So depending on the client, it will vary, but I have taken one generic example here. Okay. Okay. So to automate this, okay, so we have so many tools. Okay, as I would in the beginning I have discussed, right? So ETL tester has to know how to create the Parquet files, how to create the Avro files, how to work with the JSON files. So to work with those files, okay, to work with those files, we have so many tools already. Not just only files, even databases, even Kafka streaming data. To work with these projects, right? Projects we have already automation tools. Okay? So Informatica IDQ. So this does only data profiling, not for complete data validations, but we can do data profiling with the help of IDQ. And then query search. This was the oldest tool in the market that is used for ETL automation testing. Then Tosca. This is not completely for ETL testing, but one of the feature we can do for ETL testing, query IO. So likewise, there are so many tools. Okay, but I have listed only few here. And if you see, right, these are not open. So these are the commercial tools. Commercial. So if you want to use query search, right, your company has to purchase the license. Okay? Company has to purchase the license. Depending on the version you will take, right, you need to pay the license cost for the same. So if one tester is there, they have to purchase one license. If 5 testers are there, 5 licenses has to purchase. It's unnecessary burden to the client, right? So that's where companies now started looking for person who know open source experience. So open source tool experience for ETL automation. So that's where Python come into the picture, right? So open source, you see, it's a commercial and commercial. So if you want to use IDQ in our project, so your client has to purchase the license, right? But again, this does not do complete ETL automation. You don't have any option to modify the code, right? So whatever features they give, you just need to use those features. So if you want to use any enhancements or if you want to do any changes to the scripts, right, you can't do it. You have to request again IDQ team to change it, right? Same way for the query search also. Same way for Tosca, query app. But Python is a flexible for various ETL testing projects, right? So if you want to use Python, just simple code, maybe 5 lines of code for ETL testing, you can still do it for your, maybe 5 lines is sufficient for your project, you can use 5 lines of code. So if you want to use 100 lines of code, you can use 100 lines of code. So depending on your client requirement, you can change the code as per your need in the Python. So because you are solely handling your complete project by using Python, right? So you have all the control to modify the code as and when it is required. But in the paid tools, you have to request them, you have to ask them to change, or you need some extra feature, you need to request them. So again, you need to wait for some time to get that requirement added in the proprietary tools. But Python is open source, anyone can download, install, and then work on it, right? So that's where most of the times for ETL testing, Python is popular. Okay, so most of the clients will use Python as a programming language in the ETL project. The ETL project. Okay. 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 So this is the end-to-end framework that we have implemented, and the same framework we will explain in the automation training. But I'll make this framework very simplified and then explain in the class today, in the workshop today. It is not this much detailed framework, but I'll explain one framework that can be used for your project. Okay. And this is our course overview. Okay, so we cover ETL, big data testing, core concepts, not in detail, but we'll cover core concepts. And then Python, PySpark. Okay, we cover Python. in detail, in-depth knowledge will provide in the Python. PySpark will cover again in-depth knowledge on the PySpark. So whatever functions are there in PySpark, we cover all of it in perspective of ETL testing. So after learning PySpark, you can leave your SQL knowledge aside and you can write all your SQL code inside PySpark itself. Okay? And then we cover one end-to-end framework using PyTest. So inside this PyTest framework, we cover Python, PySpark, and then core PyTest concepts. So and also we provide agentic AI in this training. So not today's workshop. So if you join my course, right, we will provide agentic AI training as well in the same course. Like we don't charge extra for agentic AI. It will be in the same course included. Okay, and then live projects with GitHub CI/CD. So we cover two projects, one using Azure, one using AWS. Okay. So even if you want to understand what topics we cover, right? So we already have our website. You can search ETL automation. Okay. This is our website, etlautomationlabs.graphy.com. So if you go and search my courses, these are the courses. So we recently introduced this portal. That's why you see only 3 batches, but we covered almost 26 batches so far. Okay. And you can see this is the batch that we recently completed in the portal. And you can see all the topics that we covered here. So if you go here, you can see these were the recorded sessions that we provide for everyone, every individual. So this is with the introduction we started, and then we started the Python identifiers, then print statement, data types, right? So once Python is done, so you see almost Python we covered 37 somewhere. So Snowflake DB we covered, and then functions. Okay, yeah. So after Python is complete, we cover one framework, guys. Okay, Pandas framework. This is the framework classes. Okay, framework classes. And once it is done, we start with the PySpark. PySpark with the Databricks. You can see PySpark and then Databricks. Okay, PySpark. So you see PySpark almost we cover 20 sessions. So working with PySpark, working with the read CSV files, JSON files, Parquet files, Avro files. Okay, and then how to create the PySpark views. Okay? So you might be having a question why, since I am working as a ETL tester, I already know SQL. Why we have to use a PySpark or Python, right? So because of the various reasons I've already explained, right? So without PySpark also we can still do the automation, but there are challenges when you use only Pandas alone. Okay, I'll show the challenges also. Okay, and then you can see these are the PySpark sessions. Once PySpark is done, we cover PyTest. You can see PyTest intro. Okay, and then once PyTest is done, we will start the framework implementation. So this framework will go for almost 20 sessions, guys. Okay, almost 20 sessions. Okay. I'll take all the questions. I have seen some questions in the chat. I'll take those questions in a moment. See, framework, we start with implementing the framework step by step. So not something which is already implemented and then we don't show that kind of code. So we will do everything in the class itself. We write the code in the class. From the first character of the code, we start in the class itself. Okay? That's why see framework classes alone, we have taken almost 15 sessions. You can see till here framework sessions. Somewhere 50 here we started. Framework 61 we started, and here it is 71. Yeah, 71. And if you see, most of the sessions are 2 hour sessions. See, 2 hour, 2 hour, 2 hour, right? So 1 hour 45 minutes. That means total like 25 hours we have taken only the framework sessions. You can think that like how much detail we covered the framework itself, right? So once that is done, then GitHub. So once we have the code in place, we need to maintain the code in the cloud repository. So we will cover GitHub and then Git commands, and we do the hands-on GitHub sessions. Not something we won't give just basics about ETL, basics about GitHub. We'll do the hands-on. We create the project and we show how it works in the real time. Like if we take 5 resources, like 5 people in the class, each one of you will allocate a developer task, give a task, and then we write the code and then we push the code to the GitHub. Hands-on we do. So once GitHub hands-on is done, we start with the GitHub CI/CD. So now everywhere you go, so the once the question is asked, right, whether you know Python, PySpark, all these things frameworks, the next question will be, do you have any GitHub, do you have any CI/CD knowledge, CI/CD experience? Okay. So that's where we will cover CI/CD also. And then as I mentioned, we cover 2 projects. You can see 6 hours for this AWS project. I think 4 hours for Azure project, right? Uh, yeah. And you can see ACD type 1, type 2 all covered as part of this automation, not just only basic apple to apple. So it's all the transformations, all ACD type 1, type 2, type 3, those validations also covered as part of this. Okay. Okay, you can see ACD type 1, type 2. The two projects we cover, one is AWS project, and again, right? So including CI/CD, okay? So it's not something we just write the code and then run from our local machine. Whatever code we implemented, we deploy the code to the respective environment. If it is Databricks, we deploy the code to the Databricks and run the code from the Databricks itself. If it is Glue job, we deploy the code to the Glue job directly. So that's where you can see all the sessions here, right? And these are Azure topics, okay? And interview questions, we provide all. So this is the dump of all the interview questions, the ETL testing, and then ETL automation testing, and then resumes. Once after the sessions are done, right? We have our own Naukri account since we have our company, right? So we have our employee account. So from there, we will download the real-time resumes and then provide it to you. Not something very basic one. We provide real-time resumes that you can modify as per your experience. And then finally, OOPS concept. Generally, OOPS is not required in the automation building. That's why we covered OOPS as the last topic. So I'll give recordings, this OOPS as the recordings. We don't cover this in the live sessions. But whatever you read from first session to week 77 session, right? All these are live sessions, guys. Okay. Only the OOPS I gave as a recording for the previous batch. Okay. So this is all our course. So I do not want to show just curriculum. I want to show the complete topics that we already covered, right? So that you'll get some clarity what we covered already in the class. Okay. So people who are from my previous batch, they already know we covered all these sessions in the live. Nothing is recorded previously and then gave it. All these are live sessions that we recorded. And you can see for every class, we will upload the recording and we'll also give the code that we covered. And then if there are any extra files that we used to discuss the topic, right, those files we upload here. Okay. So now you don't need to refer any extra website or any extra place to refer the recordings. All the notes and then all the code, okay, any extra documents, any software that we install, everything will be here itself. You can see even software installation, right? You can see the softwares we have uploaded here. Okay. So if you want to install, you can directly install by downloading from here itself. Okay. Okay. So I'll take pass now. I think I see some of the questions in the chart. Apple to Apple validations only we will do here using Python. Can we do automation, event transformation logic? So we do, like if it is a migration project, we do Apple Apple. If it is ongoing project, we can do event transformation separate. Like as I mentioned, right? So we did SCD type 1, type 2 also in this automation framework. So not just only Apple to Apple, it's complete automation that we generally in our day-to-day work. All types validations. Yes, any questions? Any other questions you have? Anybody need any clarity? Okay. So if you're interested, maybe I did not cover the workshop yet. I'll start the workshop in some time. Okay. I see few more questions. Agentic AI will be used in automation. Yes, yes, yes. So as you all maybe already few of you part of this self-paced learning of the August batch, right? So we plan to cover agentic AI as part of the November batch. So once end of this November batch, we'll upload the agentic AI sessions in the self-paced learning in the November batch as well. Same will continue in the advanced ETL big data automation testing in the January batch as well. Okay. Yeah, so agentic AI, yeah, another 1 month will upload in all the batches. Okay. So advanced ETL automation training batch is the batch we just started last week. So only 3 sessions completed. So the actual classes will begin from tomorrow, Monday. Okay. But the self-paced learning, which was the August batch, finished on November month. So it is open everyone. So if you want to enroll now, you can go ahead and enroll in the self-paced learning. Okay. So it's a self-paced learning. You can go back and watch the recordings in your own pace. You don't need to join the live sessions. So if you want to join the live sessions, this is the place where you can enroll. Okay, so I think we discussed the curriculum and then other details. Okay. Now let's jump into the actual workshop today. Okay. Are you ready, guys? Apart from doing regular tests like duplicate, okay, where we can use these automation tools, what test we can perform. See, not in my automation framework, we don't just do like we do validate the count, duplicate, null value check, and then data correctness, all this. Additionally, we built data quality checks that can be used in the production like environments to do the data testing after each job is executed. Okay. For instance, right, simple example, you have a column, age column. In the target system, age always should be between 18 to 100, not other than, not greater than 100, not less than 18. So we write one data quality rule to the specific column, age column, so that value always between 18 to 100. No other value, like no junk value, no null value, okay, no character values, so only the integer type, and then value should be between 18 to 100. So that is one data quality rule. So likewise, depending on the client, we will implement additional data quality rules. Okay, so it can be name check, address validation, postal code check, okay, and then your transaction amount check, all these things. Yeah, everything. So edge case that I mentioned, right? So 18 to 100, so lesser than 18 or less than 18 equal to, right, or 100 greater than or equal to. So all the rules that we can define in the code itself. Okay, how about education? Yeah, everything is covered. So can be used in unit testing when developer is running their unit test, right? You can share this code with them, this framework with them. They can also do the unit testing in production like environment. These all are DQ checks. Other than DQ checks, which areas we can use this? I don't understand your question, Raghu. Can you elaborate this question? See, this framework we are implementing for data testing. So you can use in your functional testing, regression testing, retesting, right? And then sanity, smoke testing, and then even unit testing. You can share this framework with the developers. They can run this framework for their unit testing as well. Yeah. If you can elaborate, then I can explain you more about DQ checks. So DQs generally, right? So we start implementing DQ checks in the lower environment. So once everything is done, we will run these DQ checks in the production environments after every job is executed. Suppose there is a job running daily morning 6 a.m. So once job is executed, we trigger our automation framework, and then automation framework will do the data quality checks on top of the job that just executed. In the production like environment, we will do it on a daily basis. Okay. So let me give the link now. So, and again, a disclaimer, guys. So, whatever framework I'm going to explain now, it's a very basic framework. As I mentioned, right? So, we started our journey back in 2017. So, whatever framework I've implemented in 2017, same framework I'll give to everyone now. So, as a hands-on session. So, if you want to understand, if you want to learn PySpark and then PySpark framework, PyTest, all of it, right? So, you need to enroll my course. Okay. So, because it just so pandas, everywhere, right? So you even you can learn this outside outside my training also. But we are starting from Python, then framework implementation with the pandas, and then PySpark, and then PyTest, and then Databricks, and then GitHub CI/CD. All these things I cannot give as a free, right? So that's where I thought pandas can be shared with everyone because it's everywhere available, but few of you don't know how to connect the dots, right? So you might have already Python knowledge, you might have already Pandas knowledge, or maybe you are completely new to the Python. So if I just give quick introduction of the framework, how it is implemented, how we can implement it, then you get some basic idea. Then after you can decide whether you can continue with my training or maybe any other training outside, right? Like to learn this automation, complete advanced automation training. That's where I thought maybe as a small step we are giving this automation workshop for everyone as a free. Okay. So I'll give all the notes, all the code, everything end of the session. You don't need to worry. You already enrolled or maybe you already provided your number and everything, right? So I'll share all the details. I hope you already part of my WhatsApp group. So in the WhatsApp, I'll share the link, Google Drive link, where I'll be uploading all the code and then everything. Okay. So I already created one Google Drive. So let me open it. Okay. So I kept three files here. One is input files, PyCharm edition, and then Python version. So let me make it uh, accessible to everyone. Okay. So I'm giving this link to everyone. You can download and then keep it ready. We will install now. So it's a hands-on workshop, guys, not something which I already installed in my local machine. I'll just show you. So we do hands-on. You even if you want to inform your friend, colleague, when please inform them. They'll also join. They'll also understand. We do everything hands-on. Okay. I'll give the softwares, files, and everything. Even database, I'll give database credentials. You can just practice with the same. Okay. So I'm sharing the link everyone here. So in the chart you find now Google Drive link. One second. Yeah. So I've already pasted the link. Open this link. So if you open the link, you will find input files. You'll find PyCharm. You'll find Python 3.10.10. And one more thing is that so if you already Python in your mission, don't install Python again, guys. Don't install Python again. Okay. So if you don't have Python, I'll tell you like, don't install now. I'll tell you the steps also in some time. But download these three files and then keep it ready. Okay? Download these three files and keep it ready. In the meantime, any questions? So this might take some time because it's 500 MB and then this is 30 MB. This is 1 MB. It's almost like half GB you need to download. It takes some time. So in the meantime, you have any questions? You want to unmute yourself and talk? I'll give you option now to unmute yourself and talk. Let me make it. One moment, guys. I'm facing some issues. Guys, anyone wants to talk? I can unmute if you want to talk. Any question is fine. Okay, I'm open to answer. One second. PySpark, Pandas, what difference? I've seen a couple of questions. Unable to unmute. One second. Let me. Yeah,
Yeah,
I unmuted. Yeah, you can
yeah,
talk.
Srini. So in this drive, we have three files, right? Inputs and PyCharm and Python. So I have already PyCharm and Python.
Don't install for you. So if it is already there, don't install. Don't download also.
That input files.
Yeah, input files you can download and keep
Yeah,
it ready.
yeah, okay, sure. That's thank you, thank you,
So
Srini.
guys, if you joined January batch already, right? I think as part of our regular classes, I already installed PyCharm and then Python in your machine. So we install latest versions. You don't need to worry. You just listen to me. But if you're from my previous batch, you can still, I don't know whether you have it still or not. You can download it again if you want. And if you are completely joined, if you are completely new to this automation itself, right, you can download all three and keep it ready. And I'll tell you before installation, I'll give some instructions. Please follow those instructions, guys. Okay. Guys, same knowledge you can explain in the interview, right? Okay. You can easily crack the job. I'm telling you upfront, after this three, after next 2 hours, right? If you can understand complete knowledge about the framework, so if you can explain same thing in the interview, you can easily clear the interview. Okay. That much assurance I can give. So do we have DB2 connection too? So at this moment, I don't have DB2, but my framework will cover DB2 also. Okay. Let me show you. 1 second. This is the March batch. Um, database. Let me search. Please download and keep it ready. Okay. Please download, guys. Once it is done, then we'll discuss the next part. Mm. The same are there in the portal also. This is August now, March batch. The one which is there in the portal, it is August batch, guys. No difference. Earlier, I was using Google Drive to share the recordings. Now we created our own website. Let me show you the database part. I think since you asked, price part local setup and this one. Yeah. So this is the guide which was created last year itself. You can see if you open this guide, we'll share up all this document. So our framework will work. So we tried with all the different databases. Okay? We gave all the instructions to connect MySQL. Okay. So how to create the JDBC URL for MySQL and the which jar to use when working in the framework. Okay. What is the port number, all of it. You can see Postgres DB, you can see Oracle DB. Okay. And then SQL Server DB, SQLite DB. Okay. MariaDB. Okay. IBM DB2. I think this is the one you asked. I think somebody asked, right? So IBM DB2 is also covered as part of this automation framework implementation. But it's just that we never discussed in the class about the DB2, but we covered DB2 also in the framework. Okay, framework will handle this. So only thing you need to do is extra. You need to know what is your host of your DB2, port number, and then database. Okay, and other details like which driver to install, what is the JDBC file you need. All these things are explained in this. So if you want to know more about it, right? So we have already recording here for this. So database, how to work with the databases, we already have this files here. Okay, yeah. So Redshift DB we covered, Hive. So Redshift DB we covered as part of our project. So the project completely on the Redshift DB itself. Apache Hive. So it's a big data one. Okay. And Teradata and SAP HANA. Okay. So we also tried, these were the requests from previous batch students like TrenoDB, PrestoDB and Pinode, Apache Pinode. So even we tried with these two, I never tried with the Pinode. So this is still pending, but these two we covered. Okay. Yeah. So you don't need to worry about our content and then our syllabus, guys. So we covered almost all. So as I mentioned, like, we already covered almost 25 plus batches so far. So we have taken input from different batches we have implemented. Okay. Uh, See, we have documented everything properly, how to do for each different database. We don't need to look for any other document. We have it everything ready already. This was last year, and even we updated even in the current batch also, the previous batch that we covered, database part. Okay, I hope I answered your question. Let me one second. Okay, one second. Let me done. Okay. DB2, yes, we covered. What is the difference between Python, PySpark, PyTest? Okay, so uh, Python is programming language, guys. So PySpark is for maybe if you want more details, maybe I'll cover as part of the regular classes. But in the interest of time, I'll just maybe on the high level I'll explain. So Python is a programming language. PySpark can be used for data engineering projects where we generally use SQL to do the data processing, right? So maybe you do upper, lower, and then minimum, maximum, aggregations, joins, all of it, right? In PySpark also we can do the data processing. So whatever we do in the SQL, the same we can do in the PySpark with some extra features on it. Okay, and then PyTest is a testing framework. Okay, so PyTest is a testing framework which can be used for automate your test cases. So PyTest can be used for front-end automation, also used for API automation, also used for data testing also. So if you learn Python, PyTest, right? So you are as a full stack tester. Okay. But you need to, so in our training, we'll mainly focus on data testing. But if you learn front-end concepts like how to get the XPath, how to build the framework for front-end automation, right? Running the different browsers, all those things, you can become even front-end automation engineer as well. So if you learn API basics and the API automation, maybe some extra things you need to learn on the framework. That's all. So Python will remain same. Okay, so once you learn Python, same Python knowledge you can use for front-end automation, you can use for API automation, you can use for performance testing, you can use for data testing also. But in our training, we'll mainly focus on data testing, that is PyTest, right? PyTest framework we use. Okay, my recommendation next 2 to 3 years, you target to learn all different frameworks, guys. We don't stick to only data testing. Maybe in the future we don't know how it will be, right? Learn everything, all frameworks using Python. Since you are learning Python, so Python can be used across different automation frameworks. Okay, done. Okay, so now only PyCharm community I need to install. So guys, if you're already enrolled my course, January course, don't install anything, just keep as is, okay? So I am like in the latest version of PyCharm, there is no community, there is no proprietary edition, both are combined together, okay? Um, yeah, if you are new, yeah, go ahead and download, okay? You don't need to wait for me to confirm. Let me, where is it? One second. Workshop. Okay. Let me answer all of your questions before we start. Can you please share the doc? Which doc you want? Which is the best use, Spark SQL, PySpark? See, PySpark has Spark SQL and PySpark data frame API methods. You can use one of it. So if you're comfortable with the SQL, you can go with the Spark SQL. If you're not comfortable with the PySpark API methods, then you can go with the simple SQL itself. Okay. So again, we will cover both. Okay. If you see my course content, right? Let me show you again. Where is my course? Yeah. So if you see my course, all the topics we covered in PySpark, we covered both. How to write the code, how to write the code using Spark SQL, how to write the code by using PySpark API methods. Okay, let me show you. So that's why we have taken almost 20 hours to cover PySpark. PySpark we can cover in two, like 2 days, like maybe two, like 4 hours, 8 hours, but we covered in detail. You can see, so PySpark here, PySpark data frame, PySpark data frames part 2, read all, once it is done, you can see here. So PySpark views. So views we created to write the PySpark SQL, a PySpark SQL. You can see, we also discussed PySpark versus SQL. There is a file here. I can't download because I'm a learner here, but yeah. So there is a file here. You can see this file. So we have uploaded one file where you can see the code, how it is implemented in the PySpark, in the SQL, both. Okay. So and then we have covered, these are the API methods, PySpark API methods. Okay. Yeah, so I think we spent almost 1 hour to discuss about my course and then curriculum, all of it. Now let's directly jump into the implementation part. Done, everyone? Yes, I want confirmation from everyone. I see only 61. Okay. Yes, able to hear me? One minute. Guys, everyone able to see my other screen? No? One moment. Guys, everyone able to hear me now? Anyone facing any echo, any issue with the voice? No issues, right? Okay, great. Okay. So, okay. So because I was using Mac OS, so I don't want to confuse all of you with the Mac OS UI. So I want to discuss from Windows, so that's why I switched to Windows now. Okay. So let me. So everyone, right? Just a cross check. So few of you might have already Python install in your machine, Python install in your machine. Just cross check. Open the command prompt. So everyone, open the command prompt. Okay. Open the command prompt and then type Python here. All in the lowercase. Okay? All in the lowercase. You can see in my machine it is installed Python 13.1. Okay, this is the latest version, not latest version. One, like maybe latest version minus two versions. Okay? But if you see any other version other than 3.13.1 or maybe 3.8, 3.9, 3.10, okay, 3.2, whatever version you keep as is. Don't do uninstall or don't do anything. Okay. Is everyone done? Understood? So anyone has Python already? Guys, use the chat box. Guys, for some time use the chat box to answer yes or no because I just wanted to understand whether you have it, don't have it. Okay. Yes, I think most of you are responding. You have it already 3.13.0. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So if you have already Python version, fine 3.12. Okay. There is echo. Anyone getting echo, guys? No echo, right? Good. Okay. Okay. 3.10.10. Okay. 3.13. Okay. 3.12.7. Okay. Okay. Fine. I think most of you have like now only respond who don't have the Python in your machine. Who don't have Python in your machine. You run, open the terminal, don't need to do anything. Open the terminal, just type simple command Python, all in the lowercase, all in the lowercase, and confirm me. If you get any message, let me show you what message you get it if you don't have it. You don't need to do anything. Just just show you. I wanted this session to be useful for everyone. That's why I'll show you the step by step all the options. Uninstall. Let me also install. Sure. Bear with me, guys. Few minutes. So once that is installed, I'll show you. Let it uninstall. The meantime, you can post your question. I'll try to answer it. Any questions? Download. Which is the best Spark SQL PySpark with respect to performance? No, see, both are same. Internally, when you write Spark SQL code or PySpark code, let me show you why. Just discuss theoretically. Let me show you one file. Not sure where it is. Ideally, it should not take this much time. It will be done within a minute, but let it done. In the meantime, I'll open. I think some of you are asking questions. So let me just clarify that. It is done now. I'll show you quickly. One second. The Spark SQL, right? How it will be different, okay, when you write normal code, when you write SQL code. So this is how it will look like. Okay, so suppose if you want to write, Spark SQL, this is how you write it. Okay, so select column 1, column 2 from table. So this is the Spark SQL. Okay, but you will enclose this SQL query inside your Spark.SQL and you write this SQL query inside that Spark SQL. But a data frame API, PySpark code will look like this. df.select column 1, column 2. So this is the Spark SQL code. This is the equivalent PySpark code. Right? So this is the filter condition. Select star from table where condition. The same thing you write in the PySpark like this, df.filter. Okay. This is the average aggregation. And this is the average aggregation in the PySpark. Okay. We will cover all these topics in our regular classes. Don't worry. So we'll show how to write joins in PySpark, how to write joins in SQL. We'll show how to write the aggregations, how to write the duplicate query, how to write the rank, dense rank, all of it. Okay. Don't worry. You can also go back and check the list of topics. We already have it in the portal. Our portal. Just search ETL Automation Labs. You'll get it one link. Open it and you see the self-paced learning. So it was the fully finished the batch. You can see all the topics that we already covered. Okay. So yeah, hope we clarified your question. One second. Okay. Do you conduct any other classes other than ETL automation for now? Yeah, we plan to start agentic AI as a separate training, but we'll inform at this moment with the automation only. We are giving agentic AI, not as a separate course. Okay. I think yeah. So now let me show you. So if you don't have Python in your mission, this is how it look like. Um, Command prompt, open command prompt, reopen the command prompt, guys. So if you already installed, don't do anything. Just sit idle, okay? Don't just listen to me. That's all. Don't do any other steps, okay? So if you don't have Python, now we will install, okay? Now let me type Python, okay? So you'll get error like this. Not error. You get the message like no Python at this location. So mean Python is not there in the mission. Okay? How to install Python now? So you already downloaded, right? You already downloaded Python. Let me just go to the downloads. One moment. Okay. So Python, this is the version you downloaded. Okay. So right click or you can double click. You know how to install any software, right? Just double click on it. Okay. So once you open it, you will find a message or pop-up like this. Install Python 3.10.10. And if you have already any other version, don't uninstall, keep as is. Okay. If you get any error, I'll fix it. Don't worry. So if you don't have any version, any other version, go ahead and install this version. Okay. So 3.10.10 version. And if you have 3.11, 3.12, 3.13, and the minor versions of 3.13, 3.12, 3.11, that's fine. Don't uninstall and then reinstall. Okay. It's the same version. So install Python 3.10. Double click on the Python that you downloaded. You get this message. Click add python.exe. Select this option. Checkbox this. Okay. Click on this checkbox. Okay. And then you see option here, install now. Click install now. So once you click on it, Python will be installed. So this takes hardly 1 minute, not more than 1 minute, guys. It should be done within a minute. Everyone do this. We'll take break at 10:30. We'll take 15 minutes break and then come back. So after we come back, we'll discuss the actual Pandas framework, guys. So we first done with the initial setup, the installation part, and then we take break and then we come back. In the meantime, if your friends or if your colleagues wants to attend, you can just inform them, just give the link to them, so they will also join and then get benefit out of it. Okay. So once it is installed, you will see the message like this: setup was successful. So if you are using your office laptop, don't install it, guys. Maybe you will get some security warnings, security messages, issues. If you have your personal laptop, go ahead and install. Okay. No need to do the second thought. Just go ahead and install in your personal laptop. So if you are using your office laptop, don't install it, because you might blocked. Maybe the software installation might be blocked with your company settings, right? Okay. Your company might block the Python installation. So don't try in your office laptop until unless your company only asks you to install it. Okay. But for this demo, for this workshop, try to work with your personal computer. Okay. Don't use your office laptop. Okay. Once it is done, just close it. Okay. And close this command prompt and reopen the command prompt. Okay. Reopen the command prompt. Okay. Now if I type again Python, hit enter, you see now Python editor is in. This is the Python console. So you can write here Python code. 2 plus 3, 5, print messages. You can run Python code from here. Okay. So it means Python is installed successfully. So if you have any other version, try to just run Python and see whether you are able to run this print message or not. Okay. So if you are getting this message, that means the Python is working in your machine. No need to do extra things, but yeah. Yes, done, everyone. I see a message. One second. See, the topics wise, there is no difference. Whatever we covered as part of the self-paced learning, that was the previous batch. Okay, so that was not just recorded session. That was the previous batch. We converted as a self-paced learning because many of them were asking about like we wanted to go offline. We don't get time to join the morning sessions, morning batch. So that's why we converted that as a self-paced learning. So whatever we covered in the self-paced learning, same we will cover in the the 12,500 course as well. There is no difference. There is no document missing between these two. Both are exactly same. Only difference is for the self-paced learning, you will be going through the recorded sessions. For the live sessions, you will be joining the live session every day morning, okay, Monday to Saturday. Sessions will be Monday to Saturday, Monday to Friday actual classes. On Saturday, it will be live Q&A session. Live Q&A session. Yes, done, everyone. Can we implement all this ETL automation framework code like test files, folder structure, etc. in our office system? Yes, you can do once your company agrees for it. So once you learn Python, Pandas, PySpark, all these things, that you will inform to your project team lead or your project team manager that I wanted to implement automation framework for this project. So these are the tools required for this project, for this automation. Can you approve these tools? So if they approve, yes, you can go ahead and do it. If the client is not ready, your manager is not ready to install Python, right? Because it's a third party application. Few clients won't agree for it. Then we can't do automation. I hope KHR you understood, right? What is the difference between these two? I don't know full name, but yeah, I see only KHR, so just that. That is the only difference. The course wise, the topics wise, no difference, no compromise. Whatever you see in the recordings, same you'll find in the live sessions. But only thing is, yeah, so live sessions and 7K1 is the recorded sessions. But you will see the code, notes, interview questions, everything is there already. Okay. So guys, done everyone. Okay. So the next thing, PyCharm installation, right? So the second software is PyCharm. So PyCharm is one of the IDE, guys. If you maybe you already have experience, right? So you might have worked with the SQL. So to work with the SQL, we use Toad editor, we use SQL Developer, SQL Plus, and then DB Viewer. So likewise, there are many tools, many IDEs to run the SQL code. The same way to work with the Python, there are so many IDEs. There are so many IDEs. The one IDE is command prompt. We already seen. This is the one of the IDE. Okay. So this is not suitable for implementing framework, but this is one of the IDE. From here, you can run the Python code. Okay. There is one more IDE when you install Python. When you install Oracle database, you get SQL Plus as by default editor, right? Same way, when we install Python, so you get one console. See Python app, Python 310.app. So if you open it, here also you can run the Python code. This is similar to your command prompt, but not exactly the similar. It's a bit different. Okay. This is Python console. From here also you can run the Python code. So this is one. This is another one. Two editors we discussed. Command prompt and then Python console by default. These two. The next one we have PyCharm, we have Jupyter Notebook, Anaconda Navigator. If you install Anaconda Navigator, you will get 6 to 7 different IDEs like Spider, okay, Jupyter Notebook. Inside the Anaconda also, you will get it again. This PyCharm editor, okay, VS Code, okay. So likewise, there are so many tools. Okay, there are so many tools. You can choose your own tool. Like maybe if you are comfortable with the PyCharm, you can go with the PyCharm. If you are comfortable with the VS Code, you can use the VS Code. If you are comfortable with the Jupyter Notebook, you can use the Jupyter Notebook. Okay, but I would recommend everyone to use the PyCharm editor because PyCharm editor is more efficient tool where you can go where you can get everything. You can do the CI/CD implementation. You can connect to the databases. You can write your Python code. You can also see the reporting. Right, everything is there in the PyCharm editor. So that's why I recommend everyone use the PyCharm editor instead of any other tool. So you can also use VS Code, but not friendly. Okay, so you can also use Jupyter Notebook, not friendly for framework implementation. Okay, so each tool is friendly for different use cases. So if you are using Jupyter Notebook, maybe Jupyter Notebook is helpful or useful for data analysts, not for data automation engineers or data quality engineers. Okay, so that's why I asked everyone to install this Jupyter Notebook. Okay, this Jupyter Notebook. Sorry, yeah, it was 1 second. Sorry, my bad. Not Jupyter Notebook, PyCharm. Okay. So PyCharm is already there. Go ahead and download this PyCharm. Okay. If it is not downloaded, just download it and install it. So installation is very simple. Double click on it. No need to do any extra setup. Just finish it. Okay. Done. So no extra setup is needed. Okay. Just a regular software installation. Yes, done, everyone. So I'm not showing it here, but let me show even this software also because it's already there. I wanted to uninstall and then reinstall. I don't want to do that now. But yeah, double click on it. I'll just show you the steps. Okay, you will get this message: PyCharm Community Edition setup. Click next, next, next. So no need to do any extra option selection or anything. Okay, click on install. Install. Let me click install. So this takes some time. Maybe sometimes it takes 2 to 3 minutes. And again, guys, if you have 4 GB RAM, okay, if you have 8 GB RAM, don't install all the softwares. Can we update and insert data from source file which is pointed to the UAT environment? I don't get your question. Why we wanted to do this? You want to unmute and ask question? I don't understand this question. Can we update and insert data from source file which is pointed to the UAT environment? So you mean to say the file is there in the UAT, the same file you want to keep it in the lower environment? Mm. For edge case testing, native testing. No, no. See, to create the data, right? If data is available in the production like environment, like pre-prod, UAT, or production, you can uh, you can take that file and then keep it in the lower environment manually. But automation, it's a one-time activity, right? Not all the time that we perform. So rather taking from the production, better we create the test data by using our own code. We write the code which generate the production like data. Okay? I'll show you the data generation also. Don't worry. So we create 10 record, we create 100 record, we create 200 record, we create 2 million record, we create 2 billion records also by using Python code. I'll show you the code also. We create front end app for the same. Okay. Once the setup is done, you get the finish message. Click on finish, guys. Finish. So now two softwares is done. These two software is enough to do the ETL automation now for now. If you don't want to use PySpark, PyTest, all of it, right? So these two is sufficient to do the ETL automation testing. You don't need any extra hi-fi tools now. Okay. So to do the basic automation, yes, these two is enough. These two softwares is enough. So next up, what will be our way of studying this course during live classes? Practice parallel. Yeah, see, our course, especially me when I'm teaching the classes, right? So I will be giving the lecture. You will be listening it, and you will be writing the code in the class itself. Not something I'll just keep on talking. You are just listening. Yes, don't annotate, please. Please don't do it. Shruti, please don't annotate the screen. I see some. Okay. Yeah, so the classes will go the step by step. You see my website already, right? So there you can also view the sessions how it is structured. So we go step by step. So we start with the very basic concept like Python print statement, identifiers, and then data types. In data types we cover almost 2 weeks, right? So we have so many data types. So fundamental types and then collection data types and then control flows and then functions and then Pandas data frames, right? And then PySpark. So it goes sequence manner, not everything together. So once we start with the Python, so Python we will complete, then PySpark, and then PyTest, and then framework, and then GitHub CI/CD. So all these are connected together. Okay. So if you already installed these two software, we'll connect at 10:45, guys. I'll take some break. Okay. 10:45 will connect back. The session will be open. I'm not going to close this session. So I'll just pause the recording. We'll come back at 10:45 and then connect. That's good. So in the meantime, any of your friends, colleagues wants to join, please inform them. Okay, they'll also get benefit from this. Okay. So next 1 hour will be maybe I won't say it's a life-changing decision. At least you'll understand something new for today. Guys, you are able to hear me, right? Guys, please confirm me one last time. Okay, good. So we install Python. We install PyCharm. So PyCharm is a editor, and in future, if your company is looking for PyCharm, you can install PyCharm. If your company is not okay to install PyCharm because of some security reasons, right? If they go wanted, if they want to use some other tools like Jupyter Notebook or VS Code or some Spider tool, any other tool, so the code remains same. The tool will be different. How you do generally in SQL, right? So you can write SQL select star from table name. The same in Toad, same in SQL Developer, same in SQL Plus, same in DB or any other tool, right? The code remains same. The code remains same. The only difference is the environment, the tool that we are using to write the code is different. Okay, that is the only difference. Okay, so now let's start with the framework implementation. Okay, so once it is installed, just search PyCharm. So if you have installed any other version, you will see PyCharm, guys. So if you have installed latest version, you see like 2025 3.1. So if you install community edition, you see the community edition. So if it is any other version, maybe 3.1, 3.2, any other version, you might have already installed. Those version will be there. Okay. And so since we install PyCharm community, open the PyCharm community. So if you install other version of PyCharm, the latest version, you can open the latest version. Okay. So once you open it, you will find this window. Similar window, maybe depending on the version, it might change. But if you install 3.10, like this version, 2024.1 PyCharm, so we'll see welcome to PyCharm. Create a new project to start from scratch. Opening existing project from disk or version control. So what does it mean is, so you can click on plus new project. So it start project from the scratch. So if it is already project created and you have it in our local machine, you can open it. Okay, or your project is already there in the GitHub or Bitbucket or Azure DevOps, right? You can open from get from VCF. So one of these three options you can use it. Since we are starting fresh project, it's from the scratch. So click on plus option here. Plus option here. Once you click on it, it will take you to this window where you need to enter. So to create the automation, we need project, guys. Okay? So we are creating project now. Okay. So we are creating project. So project name, I name it as test automation. Yeah. I can name it as a test automation framework underscore. I'll just put WS, it's a workshop, okay, at the end. So you can name it as anything, not necessarily test automation framework. You can also name it as TAF or your name, anything is fine. Name it as test automation framework underscore WS. Okay. Make sure you are providing the name all in the lower characters. Don't use camel case, don't use init cap format, any other format. Don't use any spaces also. It's humble request. Okay? Don't use any spaces in the project name. Not here, even in the future also in your projects, don't use spaces in the project name, guys. Okay. So the spaces might lead to some different issues in the future. Okay. So if you want to separate two words, use underscore. Only underscore. Don't use dollar symbol, don't use cap symbol, percentage, all of it. Okay. So test automation framework WS is the project name. When you create this project, right? So this project will be stored in your local in this location. See users admin PyCharm projects. So in your laptop, you might see the similar folder path with a different name, maybe some username, maybe some different. Okay, but you'll see the location here. So in some of the laptops, if you have a different version of PyCharm, you see location along with the project name. Location along with the project name. Okay, so whatever it is, just mention name of it and then location. Don't need to change anything, and then click create a welcome script. Create welcome script. Okay, once it is done, create it, and here we see the version. Okay, so if you have different versions of Python like 3.12, 3.10, 3.8 or 3.3.7, okay, 3.14, 3.13, you can see all the versions here. But in my mission, I have only one version, 3.10. Okay, so if you want to install other version, there is an option to install also. So download and install here. You can see download and install, download and install. Okay, so I don't want to download anything now. Just select the version which is already there and then create. Then create it. So this creation will take some time, like 2 to 3 minutes. Let it let it create. Okay. Okay. So once you download, okay, PyCharm, okay, open the PyCharm and create a project. So once you create a project, you will see this kind of file. Even if you don't get file, that's fine. No need to worry. Uh, Maybe in the while creating project, I have selected one option, create a script file. That's why it's created this file. Okay, if it is not created for you, don't need to worry. Just right click here on the project name, test automation framework WS, right click, and you see option new, click Python file, click Python file. So it will ask you to create the Python file. Just name it as anything like test file, test dot test, and then click. So it will create file for you, test.py. And here we just name it like print. This is just a testing purpose. Our project will work perfectly fine or not. Okay. Hello world, and run it. So while running, if you want to run this test file, right click and run test. Okay. So you see the message here, hello world. That means the setup is good now. No issues with the setup. Okay. Setup is fine now. No issues in the setup. You can see the message hello world. Okay. So if main.py is created, you can go to the main.py, right click and run main.py. Run main. See hi PyCharm message. So this complete code will actually print hi PyCharm. Guys, please respond in the chat once you are done. Everyone done? I only see response from one. Yes, how to delete the project. Yep. So if you want to delete project, so for every project that you create in your local, right? So it will create the physical location in the background. Okay. So you can navigate to that folder. One second. Sorry. So click on any file. See open in Explorer. Explorer. So here you will find the project that you created. Test automation framework WS workshop, right? Just go ahead and delete here. Okay. You see in your Windows, you will see option to delete, right? You can delete it from there. Delete. Okay. I won't recommend you to delete now. Just keep, like, if you want to delete, you can delete later. Okay. No, that's fine. If you did not click on that checkbox, right, you can manually create it. So that file is not needed for us. Okay. I just created this file just to show you. So if it is not main.py is not created, that is fine. No need to worry. Don't delete and then recreate it. Okay. That might lead to some different issues altogether. Okay. So I'll switch to Mac OS now. Because I just wanted to show initial setup in Windows. Okay. Because I'm comfortable with the Mac. Okay. I'll stop it here today and I'll stop it here now and then switch to my Mac. Let me open. One changes to create. One second, yes. Okay, so this is the project. Okay. And VNV is the virtual environment. Whatever you install, all libraries will go and sit under this VNV. You don't need to worry about it. And I don't have main.py. Okay, you see, when I am creating this project in my Mac OS, I did not create that. I did not select that checkbox. So it just created project with dummy files. No data here. Right? So if you want to create file, you can go ahead and create now. So right click on your project name. Okay, right click on your project name, and then click Python file. So if you want to create main.py, just create main.py, and then run your print statement or anything you want to run. Print hi and run it. So to run, right click and run. Yes, everyone done. Create project. Yeah, so if you open the PyCharm editor, you will see three options. One, open project, new project, and then get from VCS. Click on new project. Okay. Click on new project. Okay, so now jump to the actual sessions, guys. I do not want to waste further more time. So to build any framework, okay, to build any framework, first we have to know what currently we do manually, right? So if you want to do manually, for example, you want to validate file to database. Source is file and target is DB. Okay, we'll try to see this example only. We'll try to validate using automation. We build one framework. From the framework at the end, we'll try to automate or validate file versus DB. So file can be any file like CSV file, JSON file, Arrow file, or Parquet file, any file. Database will take as a Snowflake DB for now because Snowflake is a cloud. I can provide access to everyone now, okay, on the fly. Okay, so file to DB. So if it is file to DB validation, if it is file to DB validation, so when we do manually, how we do manually, guys? How we do manually? Can someone explain how we generally manually validate it? So first we have to understand the pain points, right? Then only we can automate it. In Excel, okay, Excel formulas we use. So there are multiple ways. If file is your source and target is DB, you will insert this file data to database and give a created table, right? This is the first option. And then since your file data and your target data is still in the same database, you can run your SQL queries on top of it. But here challenge is sometimes we don't get access to insert the table, like insert or create the tables in the database. So the client will not give option to create the like option. They never give access to create the tables in the database. So in such case we don't have any option, right? So this option will not work. Okay, so we have another option now. So file data will be as is, but DB data, so we can export to Excel file or CSV file or whatever file we want. We'll export it and then we compare using file to file. Like your source is file and target is also file. We'll compare these two. But the challenge here is if your source is JSON file, gone, right? So option is gone. Both options is gone. If your file is Parquet file, option is gone again. So challenging it, right? So yeah, before COVID, like before 2017, 2018, so most of the source files are in the CSV file or comma separated file, right? So we were able to export it and then validate it. Now, after the cloud has in the market, so the files are not the old formats. It's a new format, right? So both options are now invalid. We can't do this. Agree, everyone? I want confirmation from everyone, right? So we can't do the automation now. So this, so not automation, we can't do manual way also now. So if file is Parquet, very difficult now. If file is Avro, very difficult now. The JSON again very difficult. It's not in the tabular format. So if it is CSV, yes, I agree. We can insert data into QA created table and then validate it. Again, it's client response, right? If client says no, you should not create table, like again gone. This option is now invalidated. Then we have this option, export. So if export is not available, again this option is also gone, right? So there are challenges when you are doing manual verification if it is fine. Even DB to DB. Now let's think DB to DB also. We have DB. Source is Oracle DB, right? And target is Azure SQL Server DB. Can we do validation between these two guys? What are the challenges we face here? So we found a couple of challenges here. So here, what is the challenge? What are the challenges here? If DB is Oracle and target is Azure SQL Server DB. Source is Oracle, target is Azure SQL Server DB. Data types, okay? Yeah, agree. At least compatible type will be there. Yeah, I don't see much issue with the data types. Yeah, but yeah, we can see the compatible data types. The problem with this, right? Well, I'll explain, okay? The biggest problem is we don't have connection to these two databases from one single editor, right? So you need to access this database one editor, you need to access this database another editor. You need to basically you need to run two queries independently. You can't run together, right? How you do it generally, like your source minus target in one single SQL query, that you cannot perform here. If it is Oracle and if target is Azure SQL Server DB. Hmm. Join file we can ingest in. Yeah, not all database supports injection, right? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, like Snowflake will accept you can insert the data or you can create table, but Snowflake doesn't have access to create table only. What you will do? Problem, right? So I'm see there are possible ways, there are not possible ways, right? So we need to talk all the things, right? So if client agrees for everything, whatever we say, we don't need any automation itself. If say file is our parquet, so if I say don't use parquet, use CSV, well, if they use CSV, then we don't have any problem, right? Problem comes when they want to do some optimization, when they want to use some storage optimizations, when they want to use some latest technology, then problem comes. Okay, yeah, that's fine. The second problem, yeah, we cannot connect these two databases on one single editor. You cannot run your source query minus target query, right? You need to run these two queries independently and then export the data and then validate it. How tedious it is. How tedious it is, guys. Guys, respond. Very difficult, right? Anyone face this challenge when you are validating between Oracle DB and then Azure SQL Server DB or Oracle DB versus some other? See, I'm just taking two databases. It can be different MySQL versus SQL Server or Postgres versus SQL Server or SQL Server versus Redshift DB, anything. Okay, so we face some difficulties here, challenges when we have this kind of files, this kind of databases. Okay, so when I say a happy path, like same database, same migration, just only servers is different. So we can open the port and then we can connect databases. Right? If file is CSV, target is again a CSV, then we can easily compare file to file. But the problem is will come when client use this kind of scenarios, right? Okay, so whatever it is, now we'll try to fix, we try to validate it. Okay, let me remove all of it. I'll just comment it out. Okay, okay. So to implement any framework, okay, to implement any framework, first we should understand what code is needed, what kind of functions is needed, what kind of logic is needed, what kind of validations we need to perform, what kind of reporting we need. Agree? So if I say directly start framework, I'll come up with one single Python file, a very, very basic Python file. And then in the Python file, I'll mention only source is file, target is file, and then we will validate it. But we want to implement framework. To implement framework, we need to know the use case, right? So what is your use case? What are the different scenarios you want to use this framework, right? So for that, first we need to understand what are your files in your project. You need to list all the files, and see whatever programming language you are choosing, that program will support those files or not, right? Suppose your source is Excel file. Generally, PySpark won't support Excel files, right? You need to see the alternative. So, is there any alternate way if you mandatory use PySpark? So, Excel is not supported in PySpark. So, you need to see alternate way how we can make support PySpark to handle Excel files, right? So while choosing programming language, while choosing your technologies in the project, right, in your automation project, you need to think all perspective in the beginning itself. Once you started framework, once you are in the midway, right, so you cannot go back and you cannot go back and tell your project manager that no, this file is not covered, this file we cannot handle in this framework, or I cannot handle this, all these things. No one will agree because you already spent enough time to make finalization of this framework and then build something already. So your manager will not agree, okay, I don't want to use this technology, I want to use some different technology. So in the beginning itself, the moment you start framework writing code, you need to decide what needs to be there in the framework, what technologies I need to use. And everyone should accept in your project also. Okay. So now list, for example, assume you have a project, which is CSV file, JSON file, okay, Avro file, Parquet file, and TXT file, and then XML file, right? They assume these are the files. So you need to upfront tell, okay, my framework will gonna handle these files only. So if you come with a different format, I have to see the feasibility and then integrate it. Right? The next one, the list of databases your project has. So generally target will be only one single system, guys. In most of the cases, only one, two databases maximum. No client will use five different databases, 10 different databases. But source side, yeah, they might be having two or three different databases. Like source can be Oracle, another source can be SQL Server, another source can be MySQL. But in most of the cases, it will be one or two maximum. Okay, assume your sources are maybe Oracle DB and then Snowflake example, or maybe Snowflake will consider target, and then Postgres. And target is Snowflake. Target most of the time is only one. We don't use multiple targets, right? Only one target will be there. Okay. And what kind of validations we need? Okay. Validations need. Validation. What kind of validations you need to perform? You need to decide all these things in the beginning itself. You cannot build complete framework and then decide, okay, I want to implement this validation function, that validation function. You decide everything in the beginning itself and get approval from your project. So now basically we do schema for every different project. Sorry, my bad. Schema, then null value, count, the next part count check, right? Okay. And then null check. I have already all these things. Okay. Null check, duplicate check, okay, duplicate check, and then data comparison check, right? And then business logic. Okay. When you say business logic, again your framework grow like anything. Okay. So don't tell business logic. Business logic will also be validated as part of data comparison, right? Yeah. So likewise, okay, I've just taken very basic one. Okay. But we have implemented total 30 functions as part of our framework implementation. Okay. Even in the last demo I've shown, right? Like 6 to 7 different validation functions, and the remaining are valid like data quality functions. Okay. So consider this like these five functions, we try to implement one by one. Okay. Schema is a bit challenging in Pandas. Maybe I'll cover this as part of PySpark implementation. Now we'll go with these four functions. Okay. These four we will validate it. Okay. Schema also we can do, but it is bit, we have to bit coding for this. I don't want to confuse with a lot of coding practices now. I'll go with the simple these four validations now. Okay. So end of the class today, you will understand how to do the count check, null value check, duplicate check, data comparison check for all these file types, as well as database. Okay, let me now start. Okay, okay. So the very first step, okay, very first step, like if you want to do the validation, right, we should have source data, we should have target data, right? So source data will be always your applied transformations. So you have some business logic, you need to apply some business logic and then read the data, right? So for that we have to build the code now. So to read files, we build one function. To read databases, we read another function. We build another function. Okay, two functions to read database. Okay, and validation we create uh, individual functions. One for count, one for null check, one for duplicate check, one for data comparison check. Okay, if time permits, I'll try to explain schema also. So we have already code. I like it's bit complex code. I don't want to confuse with all of it. Okay, we'll go with this four different validations. Okay, and finally reporting. Right? Finally reporting. Finally reporting. Okay. So reporting, what kind of report you want? You want email report? Okay. Email with CSV, okay, or TXT log file, okay, or MS Teams notification, MS Teams notification, or you want database insertions. Okay. So depending on your client, depending on our requirement, you will choose one of the option. So once framework is executed, what kind of report you want? You want a CSV file with all the validations pass or fail, or you want log file with the each detail success and failure, or you want Microsoft notification with CSV and log file again. So every execution you will get one notification in the Microsoft Teams. So we create one channel. In the channel itself we get the messages. So in the channel we will add all the stakeholders. Or we will insert the data back to the database. Like we create one reporting table. So into the reporting table, we will insert the records like pass, fail, how many test case, pass, fail, how many test case succeeded, fail. If there are any mismatches, mismatch information, we'll keep it inside your database. Okay. Okay. So this is a very simple framework as I mentioned. So we have created multiple framework. Even in the last demo I've shown. So the demo was there in the like we have uploaded in the YouTube. You can also go back and watch. It was 2 hours demo. Okay, so we have shown the framework also. Okay? But this is a very simple framework. Now let me do it. Okay, so first, right, here we have a reading part. So for reading part, you create one utility. Okay, that utility name you can consider as a read files utility. Okay, so let me create one utility. Create directory or a package. So I'll go with the directory. Create utility. So everyone do along with me, guys. Okay, create a folder. Okay, right click on your project name, new, and then directory. Okay, new and directory. Create utility. Okay, use the same name, utility. The second folder name, you guys done everyone. Everyone do this. Yes, everyone do this step. Done? Yes, yes, show me one more time. Done, done, done. Okay. Which one you want me to show? I see one message from Dhananjay. Which one you want me to show? Show me one more time. So file creation. So if you already main.py or any test file, that's fine. Right click on your project name, guys. Okay. Right click on your project name, click new, and then directory. Okay. Create utility. This file. Okay. The second folder. The second folder here is, so we need to keep the configs, like your configuration file. So for that, we'll create one more folder called configs. Okay, configs. Okay, so one more file we need. Okay, that is for, so generally files will be there in the server. It can be in the ADLS account or S3 account. But since it's a very simple framework, we wanted to do hands-on in the sessions itself, right? So I'm not keeping any files in the cloud storage account. I'll keep here itself. So for that, I've already given all the files, input files in the Google Drive. You can download from here. Okay, so just go ahead and download from this folder, workshop. Okay, So download these files, download, okay, input files.zip file. So once it is downloaded, okay, once it is downloaded, in this folder you will find all types of files, JSON files, okay, Parquet files, Avro files, okay. So the folder is downloaded. Now let me once again. Okay. So downloaded. Just copy this. Okay. First unzip this. Okay. Once you unzip it, you will find all the files here. Okay. See, JSON files, JSON with complex JSON, normal JSON, single line JSON, multi-line JSON. So all these files will cover in our automation classes. Okay. So when I'm covering Pandas, when I'm covering PySpark, right, I'll cover all these files one by one. File with two header, file with two header. See, so all these files are created to demonstrate different files in our projects. Okay, we have considered all different files in the different projects. You can see file with two header, okay, JSON file, okay, and I see uh, Excel files, okay, and some kind of complex JSON files, single line JSON file, Avro file, Parquet files. You see, all the files are there here. Okay, so what I'll do now, I'll just copy this folder. Everyone copy this folder, Control C, and go to your PyCharm editor. Okay, PyCharm editor and paste it here. So on the project name, right click on the project name and then paste here. Okay. So I'll just it should be input files and paste it. So generally in the ETL projects, these files will be there in the server, guys. Okay, it can be Unix server, Windows server, or it can be in the ADLS account, S3 account, or GFS. Okay, so for learning purpose, I'm keeping in the local machine. Okay, in our project itself. Okay, but these files will be there in the server in the real projects. Okay, remember this point. Don't come back why you are keeping the files here. Okay, this is just for learning purpose. Guys, done everyone? Files, everyone copy pasted the files here. So once after the session, I'll give the code for all different files, read and then validate it. I'll show you one file and then database. You can try for other files, okay, for your practice. Okay, interest of time, I'll cover one file, one database. You need to try for other database, other files and then other databases. Okay, but I'll give you the idea how to do it. Okay, guys, done. So I'm adding one more file here in the config YML file. Let me upload this file to Google Drive. I'll upload now. One second. So I'm uploading one more file now. You take this file also and then copy paste it. So this should be there in Python. Test cases file. Okay. I'm uploading it here. Download from your from your downloads. You just copy and paste it to your. Okay. So I'll show you now how to do it. Let me do it. So download this file. I'll download now. Download. And go to PyCharm. Right. Okay. So how to upload here? You can do like you can go here. So in your Windows, you might have download option, right? So in the downloads, the file is there. Okay, downloaded file, test cases file. So copy this file, Control C, and go to your PyCharm, and then right click on the configs, and then paste it here. Okay, then paste it here. Okay, paste option here. So while pasting, you can rename this file. I don't want this of 3, just keep test cases.xlsx file. Okay, guys, everyone done. I'll take all of your questions step by step. Don't worry. Yeah, I think good. I think thanks. Somebody's pasted the drive link. Okay. Okay. So this is editor. Okay. Editor problem. We can't able to read this Excel file data. Let me show from my local machine. Let me open this in the local finder and open it. Okay, this file has some information. Okay, it has source file, and then source path, and then source query. Okay, and then your target type, target file path. Okay, target query, primary key, null columns. Okay, execution indicator, minimum value, maximum value, DQ column. Okay, database type, validations, all this. Okay. Okay, so don't worry about this file, but this file has source and target configuration data. What is your source? What is our target? Okay, those two will be present in this file. So here, this is the source. My source is CSV file. Source file path is this contact info.csv file. Target is again one more file. Okay, CSV file. Target type is CSV file. So the below one, last one. You see here, source is parquet file, and the target is database. See, target is database. Okay. We'll fill all the details. Don't worry. I'll explain step by step. No need to worry. Now that's fine. If you are getting unable to download the Excel file, to download Excel. Repeat how to copy. Okay, will do. Everyone downloaded the file? Yes, everyone downloaded the file. This file downloaded, right? Able to download? Not able to download? So everyone is able to download, Murli. Just try it out one more time. So it's very straightforward. Click on these three dots, download. Or you can open and download also. Can someone paste the WhatsApp group link here? That next batch WhatsApp group link here. So guys, I'll repeat this kind of not. I'll do this kind of knowledge sessions every week. Not every week, at least every 15 days once. Please be in my WhatsApp groups. So if you are not joining, that's fine. At least you'll get some knowledge from my workshops. Okay. So going forward, we do some advanced workshops. So this is the very first time we are doing workshop. Next time we will plan well advance and then try to finish the workshop in the within the time that we have mentioned. But yeah, the going forward, we'll try to give few more workshops. You try to inform your friends, colleagues if they want to join this workshop. So I'll share the link if no one has it. Let me share the link. Yeah, I'll share 1 second. I don't have it handy. I have to open it and then share. Guys, everyone done? So copy paste is straightforward. Let me first share this link with everyone. Next group. 1 second. So this is the WhatsApp link I'm sharing in the chat. So if you're not part of WhatsApp group, just join this group, guys. I think somebody already pasted. Guys, don't paste your own group links, okay? Okay, I think thanks. Somebody's already pasted. Okay, so copy paste part, right? Let me please join in this group, okay? So here we'll be sharing the details about the next workshops, the next batch details. Okay, good. I see many people are joining. Okay, so let me explain again. So once you downloaded the file, I'll show the step again. Okay, so go to your downloads folder. Okay, so in my system, it is under the downloads now. So you will also find the same download option. Okay, sorry, same file in your downloads. Copy this, Control C, or you can do copy. depending on your mission that you are using. Okay, copy. So once you copy it, go to PyCharm. Go to PyCharm and right click on the configs folder. Okay, right click and then paste. Sorry, you see the paste option. Paste. Copy paste. Okay, that's all. While pasting, if you want to rename it, so in my case, it is showing test cases of 3. I don't want of 3. Just remove that part and then click OK. Now file is added. Okay, so we can't open the file here because of I'm using community edition, right? Some extensions are not there to view the Excel file in this PyCharm editor, but the file is proper. Okay, don't need to worry about the file. Okay, you can. So if you want, you can install the plugins. You see the plugins option. Let's try whether we can able to do it. Plugin supporting. This light sheet. Okay, that's fine. I do not want to waste the time now. Okay. So I've shown right file, this config test cases.xlsx file have all the config details, your source detail and then target details. Okay. Your source and target details. Okay. The next part is the coding part, right? So the important one is the coding part. Okay. So we have kept all the source files, your source and target files and then databases. So database is not there. I'll show you the database also in some time. Okay. So these are all the files, guys. And there is the config data. The config data will fill properly when we start the actual validation. Now just focus on utility folder. So right click on the utility, click new, and then click on Python file. So I want couple of functions now. So so I have to work with the files, work with the validations, and work with the reporting, right? So I'll create couple of Python files with some module files. Okay, read library. Okay, so this is the first Python file. Okay, next I'll create one more file, validation library. Okay, you can put lib, you can also rename some different also. Okay, no need to use the same name, you can also change it, but since we are doing all together, right, use the same name that I'm using, validation library. The next part, right, reporting. Reporting, so reporting. Okay, reporting library, reporting, you can name it. So now if you go to main.py, whatever I have discussed, so for reading files we have created one library, validations we created one library, and the reporting we created one library. Okay, reporting library. So now there is no code here. Okay, there is no code here. Now we'll start filling the code here. Okay, so read part. Okay, so now we understand uh, I want to read CSV file, Excel file, Parquet file, Avro file. So for the same we need to write the code. Okay, we need to write the code. So Pandas supports Pandas as, right. Let me show you. Import Pandas as PD. So this library is not there. So when you get this red color underscore, place the cursor and then install package pandas. So it will install, it will show in the below. Okay. So the session will be bit, uh, uh, maybe you may, some may, so if you already pandas knowledge, you will understand easily. But if you are completely new to the Python, you need to spend some extra time to understand all of it, guys, because we are not discussing anything core concepts of Python. We are not discussing anything core of Pandas, right? So we are directly implementing the framework. Okay. So if you have already prior knowledge in Pandas, prior knowledge in Python, this framework will be like you will understand easily. But if you don't have knowledge, maybe you will face some challenges in understanding. But if you learn Python by spending 1 month, 2 months, you'll understand framework again. Okay. No need to worry about it. Okay. But at the end, you need to learn Pandas, you need to learn Python, all these concepts if you want to try outside as a new job opportunity, guys. Okay, without these two skills, you cannot crack the job outside. You don't even get the call. Okay. Okay. So if I see pd.read, right? So this Pandas says, so why I have chosen Pandas alone? So Pandas is a library that can read different file systems, different files basically. See? So there is a read CSV, read JSON, read Excel, read Parquet, read SQL. See, all file formats we can read by using Pandas. Okay, all file formats. Okay, that's why I've chosen Pandas as a library for ETL automation testing. So there is one more library called NumPy. So their data will be in the array format. So we can't use that NumPy library. Okay. So Pandas is the library where we can create tabular kind of data from the files. Okay. So you have file, convert into tabular format. How we can do? By using read libraries that are available in the Pandas. Okay. So everyone write this line, import Pandas as PD. Okay. And then see, so to import, just place the cursor on the Pandas. You will get the message. You will get the message to install. Just click on that button. That's all. Guys, done everyone? Let me see the messages. Okay. Bit challenging for me to switch. Yeah, place the, like when you get red color underscore, right? Place the cursor on the Pandas. You get the message to install. So let me show again. Let me uninstall in my mission. So there are multiple ways to install. The interest of time, I'm not covering everything because these all are covered as part of my training. Okay. So if you want step-by-step installation, step-by-step creation of each file, each folder, you can take the self-paced learning course or you can join the live sessions. Guys. Okay. Since it's a 3 hours session, I cannot go in depth about each and every topic. Okay. So let me show again Pandas one, how to install it. Okay. Okay. Now you see, I haven't uninstalled in my mission now. You see import Pandas as PD. It is giving me error, right? Red color underscore. You can also see the message here. So what is this error? No module name Pandas. See the error, no module name Pandas. Okay. Place the cursor, okay, your mouse cursor, and you see the no module name Pandas. Below it, you see install package Pandas. So install package Pandas. Click on it. Done. Okay, done. Installed. Okay. So once installation is done, still it is installing. Okay. Once installation is done, that red color underscore will go away from this Pandas. Okay. Still it is running indexing. Yeah. Now it's done. Now it's gone. Okay. So now we build one function. Okay. I'll show one function creation. The other functions I'll just copy paste. Okay. Def. So we need to read different files. Okay. Read files. Okay. So to read the file, what details we need, guys? So generally to read the files, what details we need? What details we need? We need file path, file type, right? These two are mandatory. So if you are working with the CSV file, you need to tell whether your file is having one header, two header, three header. Agree? And if your file is CSV, you need to put comma delimiter or pipe delimiter or hyphen delimiter or single quote delimiter. You need to mention, right? So these details are required. So I'll go with the basic options. Okay. So I'll just mention file type, comma, file path. It's not giving a link to download instead of saying rename reference. For what you were saying, Pooja? Not giving link. So, so if you are facing issue, just do one thing. Go to packages, type pandas here. So in the left navigation is the pandas, right? Okay. Uh, Select the pandas and click on pandas. Let me show from here also. Okay. This is very, very important library. So if you don't have this library, then you cannot do anything. So let me explain from here. So if you are facing challenges here, install pandas package option, go to packages on the left navigation here and then type pandas. So once you type pandas, it might download the latest version. Don't ever download the latest version. Okay. Click on pandas. On the right side window, you see the versions. Okay. Just download 2.2.2 or 2.2.3 or some old version. Okay. Install. Okay, now clear. So, so from packages I install. Even if you are facing issues, or you can also go back and install from here also. So open the terminal here in your PyCharm editor terminal. You can also run pip install pandas equal the version that you want 2.2.2, 2.2.3 in yours. From here also you can do it. Okay, but I would recommend everyone go ahead and use uh, the mouse option. Place the cursor and then install it. Very simple. Okay. So if it is not working, maybe you try after some time because it's interest of time. I need to finish it, right? So def read files. So you need two parameters mandatory, right? File type, file path, right? Type is needed and file path is also needed. The next thing, so if you have header, you need to provide header, right? Header equal to 0. Basically, most of the files header will be in the 0th index, okay? And then separator, what kind of separator it is? Pipe delimiter or comma. So I'll make separate as a comma default, but we can change this. Okay, while calling the function we can change this value. So now these two are default. Okay, so this is the function creation. So if you have Python knowledge, you'll easily understand. If you don't have it, again you know right what to do. So please attend or please go back and see my recorded sessions. Okay, okay, put colon and then start writing code. So we'll convert file type to file type dot lower, because some user may enter in the lowercase CSV, some will enter uppercase CSV. We are making into one unified format to lowercase. Okay. So now we write if conditions here. If file type equal CSV, then we use df equal to pd dot read CSV. Okay, and then provide file path here. That's all. So this line of code will actually read the CSV data. Okay, CSV data. The next part, elif. So I'm not going in depth like with so many options, guys. I'm just giving basic code now. Okay, so if you get basic idea right, then you can learn on your own other frameworks also. I'm not insisting you to join my training, but you can enhance this knowledge to the next level when you do on your own. Okay, so elif, then file type equal JSON, and then here write df equal to pd dot read JSON and then provide the file path. Okay, file path. Okay. So likewise, you try to add for all other files. Let me copy paste it. I'll give all this code. I'll just copy paste. You can also copy paste it. So if it is Parquet, if it is Parquet, use read Parquet. Okay. So there is a Parquet directly. Okay. And then your JSON is done. CSV is done. Excel also. If Excel is there, you can also use read Excel file. Okay. Read Excel. Okay. So this function is responsible to read CSV data, okay, JSON data, Parquet data, Excel file data. Okay. So most of the time these are the files will be there in our project. Okay. Mostly CSV, Parquet file. Now JSONs also is there. So Excel very limited because Excel has limitation of 1 million records. Right? Excel will never be in the source site. They won't use Excel as a source file. Okay. So in some files still they are using if it is old project. Okay. So if any other file, if user entered when he is using this framework, right? So maybe wrongly he understood, okay, this framework may handle XML file. I'm just taking as an example, right? So we tell, okay, if not these file formats, we tell user that, okay, we tell user that, well, hello, we will only cover, let me write, this framework covers only CSV, JSON, Parquet, and then Excel file. Okay. So but we can add this guys. We can extra add, like if you want arrow, you can add arrow file. If you want to add txt, you can add txt. But in the interest of time, I'm just adding few files here. Okay, you can enhance this to next level to another files as well. Okay, and then at the end we will return df. Okay, so now So I mentioned that in the initially there are three category of people in this class now. Let me copy paste it. Okay. So one, people who already have some basic idea on my training, attended my training, they understood about this coding practices, all these things. So they will easily understand the code at least. Okay. The second category, they recently joined my training, so they just joined today's session. So maybe they feel bit challenging to understand the code, but they can read the code. Maybe see there is a definition, function, and some parameters here, and then some conditions here. If they see the code, they'll understand, okay, something is happening. Maybe it is actually reading CSV data, JSON data, Parquet data. But if they understand the syntaxes, right, why we have given four spaces and why we have given this comma here and then header equal to 0, path, all these things. If they understand this logic, they'll understand complete framework easily. Okay. But as a quick start, at least you got some basic idea on the framework now. Okay? The third category, they're completely new to the Python, completely new to the automation, right? So for them, it is now completely blank. So if I write anything, maybe they won't understand, right? So I would recommend everyone, not just my sessions, you can also see there are so many YouTube channels that teach Python, learn Python first. So if you want to understand this code, you need to know control flows. If you understand this part of code, you need to understand what is def keyword, right? So those things will come under core Python. But this code will come under Pandas package. See Pandas, this is the Pandas, this is the Pandas. So here we are combining Python core language with the Pandas to get the benefit of ETL automation testing. Guys, clear everyone so far? Everyone clear? Okay. So to work with the database, what details we need, guys? Okay. So files we have seen. To work with the database, what details we need? Guys, respond in the chat. To work with the database, DB type, connection details. Yes, connection details we need, right? Connection details we need. Okay, so depending on the database, we need some databases we need host, username, password, and then port number. Some database need some schema information. Okay, some database name, some other details. Okay? So basically, we need connection details, right? So username, password, and then host info we need. These are the minimum details we need, right? So I'll just copy paste one code here. So this code is responsible to read data from the Snowflake DB, guys. Okay. So I'll give this code also with everyone. Let me give complete code. I'll explain all the code. Let me first. Okay. So even the Snowflake. Okay. To work with the Snowflake, we need one library called Snowflake library. So we are installing Snowflake. So if you want to work with the SQL, we need Pandas SQL. So I'm installing Pandas SQL. So both will get installed now. So give me. I'll give the complete code to everyone now. Okay. Just copy paste this code in your look. So it has more than 1065 lines. Huh? Let me give part by part. Okay. It is not working. So first part is done. Now second part. Okay. So below to the above code, you just paste it. This second part of the code. Read DB1. So I'm just introducing one more file now. Create file, XLSX file. So since to work with the databases, we need credentials, right? The credentials are kept inside this create file.xlsx file. I'll upload this files to the Google Drive. Now you can copy paste. Let me give this file also to everyone. Okay. So at the end of the session, I'll give complete code. I'll keep in the GitHub and then give the GitHub link. You can access the code directly from there. Okay. But now I'll just keep all the files here. Okay. Create file. Okay. So create file is now uploaded. Open this file. Sorry, create file. So, so this is the database type, the QA, production, UAT, whichever environment it is, we'll keep all the database details here. So different environments, different database details, we'll keep it here. And this is my username, database username. This is the password, and this is the account name, and this is the warehouse. Since we are working with the Snowflake, Snowflake need these details. Okay, Snowflake need these details. That's why I kept this. So if you need any extra fields, right, you can add those extra information here. Okay, you can add those extra details here. Okay, and close it. Okay, I've kept the file under the credit configs. Okay, configs now. Credits file, XLSX file. Okay, so this is the first function. This is responsible to read all your files. Like your file is CSV, it will read, it will execute this line of code, JSON, this code, Parquet, this code, Excel file, this code. So if you want to enhance this to next level, yeah, you can add it. Okay, so the next part is read DB. So here we are only reading now. Uh, Snowflake database data. Okay. So if you want to read Oracle data, there is a different function. There is a different library, CX Oracle library. So if you want to work with the Postgres, so there is a library called Postgres library. Okay. So for each different database, there is a different library. So once you understand one database, right, understanding second database is easy. Okay, so that's how our training also. So we have covered almost all databases. So if you want to know how to connect to the Azure SQL Server DB, Redshift DB, all those things are covered in our training. Okay. Okay. So this, what this line of code will do, this function, right? It actually read this Excel file. Okay, this credential Excel file. Okay, and then so we can also keep directly here itself. Create file. You can copy this file path and then paste it here, and then reads complete data. Okay, here we are giving environment equal to QA. Depending on the environment, it actually select the credentials, guys. Okay, so you remember in the Excel file we have environment detail. Okay, Snowflake QA, Snowflake UAT, right? So we'll provide that value here and then read the credentials. Once credentials is read, so we need username, we need password, we need account details, we need warehouse info. So we read all this data and then pass it to your connection here. So this line of code is responsible to read data from the Snowflake DB by using SQL query. So SQL query will keep inside the test cases. Guys, clear? One second, let me switch to the chat box. Yeah, there are multiple ways to store the credentials. Yeah, credentials are there in the Google Drive. Yeah, yeah, we can use Databricks secrets, we can use GitHub settings, we can use Vault. Okay, yeah, there are multiple. We can also use IAM role. There are multiple ways. But a simple framework. I don't want to make things very complex here, so we will use the basic one. So I'll keep the credentials here itself. Yes, clear everyone? The credential file is there in the Google Drive. So everyone has access to all the files. Okay. Even I have shared the code. Okay. So nothing is hidden here. I'm giving everything free for everyone. Okay. So you don't need to worry. File is there in the Google Drive. So I think, can someone paste the Google Drive link in the chat so that they can download it? Why? I don't want to copy, just download it. Please download it, guys. Okay. So go here to your drive, right? Let me close this. Okay. So go here and download it. I'm able to download. You should be able to download. Yeah, yeah. The Snowflake one I gave already. Snowflake code I already gave. Can take. It's already there, right, in the chart. I have one doubt. How will it understand to read Excel file? Yeah, we'll see. We haven't gone there. I'll explain. 1 second. No copy option. No, that's in your laptop. No. So the message you are seeing, you can do Control C in your laptop. It's in your Windows, right? So if you're not able to download from the Google Drive, I can help you. No, that is fine. That is fine. So if you're able to copy paste it, that is fine. You don't need to worry about whether it is unknown type or any other issue. As long as you're able to copy paste it, you're fine. Dhananjay, the message you sent, right? It is actually your computer issue. Uh, for that, what you can do Control C, Control plus C, and then Control V in the project. Okay, we're able to do. Okay, good, great. Okay, so first part is done. Now the second part, right? So read part is done. Now validations. 1 second. Validations. So we don't have much time. Let me copy paste the validation. Okay. Hmm. You also need a write utility. Yeah. Let me copy this. One moment, guys. I'll give the code. Don't worry. 1 second. Um, utility dot report library dot. 1 second. Write out. Utility reporting. Sorry. Then write out. Okay. So here, so now all our dots, guys. We'll connect the dots at one place. I'll show you. There is a runner file. I'll show the connection of all these dot at one place. Okay. Okay. So everyone understood read library? Any questions on the read part? Any questions on the read part? No. 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 Okay. Good. So the next part is validation part. Okay. So once we read the source data, once we read the target data, the next part is the validations. How to do the validation, right? Count check, null value check, duplicate check. So this is the code, guys. Okay. So to this function, this is the function again. This is the count validation function. We are passing source, we are passing target, and inside the code we are written some pandas library code. Okay. Source dot shape of 0, source target dot shape of 0. This actually fixes the count of source data frame, count of target data frame. Okay. And then we are comparing source count, target count. If it is same, then we say count is matching, and the test case is passed, and then we write output back to some logger file. Okay. This is a logger file. You can also see. So inside the reporting, we have created a write output function. This function takes three input parameters: validation type, status details. And here, let me modify this code. Okay. Just create one folder here. This is the old code. Once again, new directory. So create one report like report folder. Okay. So I'll copy paste this path here. Okay. So this is very simple framework. We have not built anything like report underscore date ddmm format. Okay, all of it. It's a very simple framework. You can enhance this code by adding ddmm format on the fly. Okay. So that part I have showed in the previous demo session. You can also like if you remember last demo, I've explained how the reporting will work there. Okay. But this is the reporting code. And we write if test case pass fail, we will write data back to the report this file, okay, report.txt file. But if you want to create table or if you want to create the notification, SNS, SES, all these services, you can do it by like enhancing this skill, enhancing this framework. Okay? So this is count check function, duplicate check function. So here also we have written pandas code. Okay? We are not writing any SQL code here. Okay, this is the code duplicate check function. So duplicate we generally perform on the target. So target df primary key are the two details we need, and inside this original count is this. Okay, and we are also dropping duplicates, and then we are taking the count. So that means if there are any duplicates, so data will be dropped, the record will be dropped, and count will be reduced. Okay. Shape actually gets the count of your like count of your data frame. Shape of 0. Shape will return two outputs. One is, I see so many of you are asking. Yeah, again, right, this is the very basics of pandas. Like I would encourage everyone go back and do the chat GPT or watch some YouTube sessions to understand what is shape. Okay. Shape data frame dot shape will actually displays two values in the tuple format. Okay. So the first value in the shape, okay, it is the number of rows of the data frame. The second value is number of columns. So we are taking number of rows. Okay, here we want to do the count check, right? So on shape of 0 is actually number of rows of the source. No, count, yeah, we can take count also. So but count will return each column not null count. I don't want each column not null count. I want only shape is the direct function we can use directly. Very basic one. So count returns column wise not null count. I don't want not null count. Again, we have to pass some extra columns first. Okay, I don't want to do that. So I want to do directly take all the rows, all the row, right? Row count is the shape. This is the correct function, not the count one. Okay. So all these things we covered in our training, guys. Okay, even in the yesterday we covered the same framework, similar framework. So for them, I have explained like basics about pandas. So basics only took 3 days for me, like total 6 hours to explain only basics. So that much detail I covered pandas alone, right? Okay. So here duplicate check. So to do the duplicate check, first we have taken count of original data frame, and then we drop the duplicates on the primary key and then taken the count. Yeah, again. So if there is mismatch in the count, that means there are duplicates. If no mismatch, then if original count equal to count after drop, that means there are duplicates. Right? That is the reason count is dropped. So it's a node like. So here I think it's wrong. It is like this. So duplicates present, no duplicates. Okay. Sorry, right. Above is right, okay. So if it is same, no duplicates. Okay, no duplicate. If count is same, then no duplicate. If count is not same, then there are duplicates present. So if you want to write, you can write this. Okay. The interest of time, I'm not writing the code. You can also put write output function here and then pass data back to your function. The same code. This is pandas way of writing code. So we are using pandas functions. The below code I'm using SQL way. It's the same function, okay? Duplicate check here by using SQL code. So I'm writing SQL query on top of my data frame. See, target df is my data frame. I'm writing SQL code here. Select primary key comma count of 1 from target df. Target df is the data frame. A group by primary key having count of greater than 1. So this is a SQL way. This is the pandas way of writing code. This is a SQL way of writing code. You guys clear? Both the functions. So yeah, I think most of you are asking questions here. See, here we are taking count. For example, you have the count, original data frame count is 10. Okay, simple. Assume on the primary key there are two duplicates, right? So after dropping duplicate, right, the count will become 9. Agree? Agree? Okay, now we will compare 10 equal to 9. Condition true or false? False. So it go to else block. So else block says duplicate present. That is true, right? So since there is a duplicate, that's why count is reduced. So assume 10 records. Same 10 records are there with unique records in the primary key. So same 10 will come here. 10 equal to 10, condition true. It comes and then prints no duplicates. But if you want to build extra logic like write output, status, pass fail, you can do it. Okay, there is no harm in writing the code. Okay. The same function, okay, since you guys are familiar with the SQL, right? So now I'm writing SQL query on top of your data frame. Okay. So I have data frame, I have primary key. So now I'm writing SQL code. SQL df is the function. So if you see on the top, I've imported it. Okay. One second. Yeah. Pandas SQL import SQL df. So if you use Pandas SQL, right? So this is again one more powerful library that can actually does you can write SQL query on top of your data frame. So you have a data frame, you want to write SQL code on the data frame, we can use this SQL df function. Okay. Oh, it has too many lines. Let me share one by one. I'll share first three. The first function I shared. Let me share the second function and take it. Okay. So guys, clear? Duplicate and then null value check. So we have written some logic here to do the null value check. And then this is the data compare check function. Okay. And below is the SQL way of data compare check function. This is the pandas way. You see pandas way. This is the SQL way. This is the SQL way. And the below is the range check function. So likewise, we can build so many functions. Let me show what was there in my original advanced framework. This is the very basic version, right? Now let me show you the advanced framework now. How we built in the advanced framework. I know you are curious to know all these details. Let me show you. Okay. So the basic one has very minimal information, right? Very minimal information. But this is the advanced one, right? Count itself, we have written too much of logic here. This is the one. On data compare, this is a data compare check function. See, we have written detailed code. Even if there is any mismatch, it will also display with the source target value mismatch, exact mismatch of any row, any column, right? And this is for the null value check. So the code for the null value check. So each file we have created one validation. So one file has one validation, only for null, one validation, one function here. And this is the duplicate check. This is the PySpark code we have written here. The PySpark code. Okay. So PySpark code. So and then schema validation. Okay. So this is the schema validation function. See how much big it is. Right? And then uniqueness check. So this is a uniqueness check function. So for all of it, code is readily available. Okay. All these things like this framework alone we discussed in 20 hours. Okay. So each and every line in the code we have discussed step by step in the classes. Okay. So if you want to know more about it, you can go back to my website and then purchase it, and you have everything in the portal itself. Okay. Guys, clear everyone so far? Now let me share the code. I think most of you are asking. Let me give this code now. Guys, clear everyone? Yes, everyone done? Clear? Any questions? Any questions? Yes, I'll take some water. Moment. Okay, let me give other part of the code. Sorry. Uh, Let me give the null check now. No, no, there are few lines of code. Again, this is a very basic version, guys. I've shown right the advanced one, so it has so many details. So here I'm just trying to give idea how to do the automation. Okay. This is one more function. Okay. So don't worry. After this class, I'll be pushing this code to the GitHub. So I'll give the link. I'll share all the information in the drive itself. Okay. So you don't need to worry about the code. You will get after the class all this code. Okay. No need to worry about the code. Okay. So now we have the individual pieces, right? So we have the utility, we have the configs, okay? We have the input files. So now we need to connect all these together at one place, okay? So for that we will use runner file. Let me create one runner. So, so create one more file, right click, okay? And new runner file, okay? Runner file. So in the runner file, we would try to call all the functions that we created here, and we try to call and read the cred config file, this test cases Excel file, and then we try to do all the validations. Okay. So let me do that now. Sorry, 1 second. I'll give the code, don't worry. Utility dot read library. Okay. So next part utility dot read validation value. Okay. Okay. This is not new. Okay. So this is few configurations. Okay. We are actually, if you want to see the data properly in the pandas, right? So we set this max columns width. This is just for the visually display purpose, guys. Okay. Nothing to do with the code. Okay. Without this also we can work. Okay. So the next part, I'll give the code to everyone. Create runner.py and then keep this code there. Sorry. Control C. Control V. So this is under the runner file. Okay. So this is inside the runner file. So let me push the code to the GitHub. Wait to okay. So code is now pushed. So let me make it public to everyone. Now it is private. Yeah. So whatever I've written, the all the code is now here. Okay. Let me give the link to everyone. So whatever I do, I'll just push it. You can open the file, which file you want. You can see runner file now. So right now I have kept up to line number 14. You see all line number 14 here. Okay. So if I add any lines of code and push it, you can directly take it from here. Maybe chart is a bit difficult to copy paste, right? Let me go back. Okay. So guys, clear what I'm trying to do here. So it's very simple code. These two lines of code, we are setting the editor to view the complete data frame data. On this line of code, I'm actually reading Excel file. So let me modify this line of code. So let me read Excel file here. Absolute. So this Excel file path, right? You can copy directly from here. Okay, Excel file path. So right click, see copy path reference, absolute path. Okay, and then paste it here. And paste it here. So in Windows, you might need to add R before to it. Okay. So in Windows, you need to add R before to it. But in Mac, I don't need to add anything. So that's why if I keep it at the same path as is, I'm not getting any error. But in Windows, you need to add R before to it. Okay. This is mandatory. Okay. So once we have the test cases, right click and run runner. So whatever test cases are present in the Excel file will be read and display for you. I really should not take this much time. There is a issue. It says open by Excel is needed. So let me install, import open by Excel, and then place the cursor and install. Okay. So it says while reading Excel file, it is failing because it needed dependency package open by Excel. Okay. So this line of code is failing because this line of code is required this package. Okay. So I have installed now. Let me rerun it. Okay. So now we are able to see the data. Okay. So this is the Excel file data. This test cases.xlsx file. It has all the test cases information. Okay, all the test case information. So let me open this and show you. Okay. So this file data. But if you observe, right, this file has 4 cases, but in the output data displayed only 2. Okay. So the reason because on the right side we have the indicator as y here and y here. So because of which, okay, because of which, so it is only reading, so it is reading all 4. But here I have kept one filter condition at the time of display the data. You can see here. Okay. So I read complete data. Then after we added, okay, query test cases dot query execution indicator equal to y. So it only reads only indicator equal to y records. Okay. Reads only indicator equal to y records. Okay. Y records. And then we are printing it. So if you keep for all 4 y, all 4 will be read. So if you keep only for one, only one test case will be read. So now the reason why we are keeping, right? So we are controlling test cases, which test case to execute. I don't want to run all test cases all the time, right? I want to run one test case one time, maybe 5 test cases another time, 10 test cases another time, and 50 test cases another time. So we will use this indicator field to control the test cases, what to execute. Guys, clear now? Okay. So the next part of the code. So I'm not going to take much time, guys. I'll just stop it in some time. So 12:30 will stop it. Okay. So once we have the test cases, we have to iterate one by one, right? So to iterate the test cases, we are using test cases.iteros. Okay. And these print statements are not needed. Okay. And then we are checking if source type is database. We are calling readdb function. Okay. If source is not a database, we are calling this function. Okay. Guys, getting it, everyone? Clear? Any questions here? Now we are connecting all the dots. Okay. We are reading Excel file. Okay. We are reading test cases file. We are calling functions also that we created. Okay. Guys, clear? Any questions? What path we need to give? Could you please tell? Copy absolute path. Yeah. Here. So we want to read the Excel test cases, right? So for that, we already kept one file here, test cases.xlsx file. Copy this. Okay. Copy absolute path. And then paste it here. So this code I have given. No matching distribution found on the Snowflow connector. I am facing with this error. Okay. So you are facing issue here, right? This code. So if you see the exact error message, right, it might tell you which version to install. Okay. So mine is 3.10.10. You might install 3.13, 3.14 or 3.11, 3.12, right? So different package require different version of different packages, guys. Okay, package dependency might be there. So to work with the 3.10.10 version, with the Snowflake needs specific version. Snowflake has again different versions, right? Plus play with the versions, okay? Snowflake uninstall and then install. While installing, we just try with the different versions. Old version, 2, 3 versions, old version. It might fix that issue. Okay. So now the problem, right? Let me show. So in the runner file, okay. So readdb is fine. So we are passing a row of source query. Creds file, we have to pass this cred file. Let me copy and then paste it here. Absolute path. Okay. Paste it here. Okay. So in your case, you need to keep R before to it. Okay. Or R mandatory. Okay. If you forget R, then I believe no one is able to execute the code. No, no, it's just a issue, package issue. We'll fix the issue. Don't worry. I'll take care. Don't worry. First, let me complete from my part and then we'll come back. Yeah. So this piece of code, okay. So in the Excel file, we have source type, right? So it can be CSV, Parquet, database, and Parquet. Okay. So what I am trying to tell here is to the script, okay. If source type is okay database, then call readdb function. Readdb function we created inside your read library. Okay, this part. Okay, this function needs this many information. Sorry, not this function. Okay, readdb function. This need database type query. Okay, and then create file. Okay, and then environment. All the values we are passing it here. You can see here. Right. So if this is needed, let me remove this part. Okay? We are not using this. Okay. So guys, let me finish my part. I'll come to you and then explain all of your issues. We'll fix one by one. Don't worry, we'll continue. Okay. So let me finish this part so that whoever is able to run, they can run the code. Whoever not able to run, we'll fix one by one. Okay. Since it's a workshop, right? So there are it is expected that you get some issues that I know. We'll try to fix one by one. Okay? Don't worry. Okay. Okay, so readdb part in the runner file we are connecting now. You see, run in the runner.py, we are reading Excel file that we created. Okay, we are passing credentials file information here. Okay, see credentials file information here. Okay, and then environment details. So row data type, database type. You can see which database you are connecting. Okay, this part Snowflake QS, Snowflake 2. Okay, one of this. Okay, so now let me switch to this. Okay, so this is for the source. Okay, and again, if source is not database, if it is a file, right, we call this function read files function. So in the read file function, just see we have file type, file path, header, and separator. Okay, so we need to pass these two information. Let me cross check. Okay, this is file type. I don't know. One second, here. There is a small issue. This is correct. This is right. Okay. Okay, so we are calling if type is database, this piece of code will get executed, else this piece of code will get executed. And then same for target also. If target database is target type is database, this piece of code will get executed. Otherwise, this piece of code will get executed. This target type source type will come from this Excel file. Okay, you can also view in this Excel file here. Okay, you can see I'm not taking somewhere else. Okay, source type and target type. Okay, so target type. So in that here you can pass any value, CSV, Parquet, Yavro, or any other format. Okay, so depending on the value that you are passing, one of the code will get executed. So either this or this. So for source is this part and target is this part. So once we have data frame, we are printing sample records of 5. Okay, and then we are passing validations. Okay, and then we are executing one by one. Okay? And here you can pass like what kind of validations you need to execute. So on the right side we have validations. Validations. If you want to execute count, you can keep count. If you want to run null check, you can pass null. If you want to run duplicate check, you can pass duplicate check. All these things. Okay. Okay. So that's how it works. Okay? That's how it works. Okay? You can see it. So with the comma, we'll split one by one and then do the validation for all. Okay. So if validation is count, then count validation will get executed. And if validation is duplicate, duplicate will get executed. Likewise, we can call other functions as well. Guys, clear everyone? Any questions? Now we'll take, I'll execute for one file to file. Okay. We'll modify this Excel file. I'll take simple file to file validation. So I'll take contact info file. I'll take the path of this absolute path. Let me update in the Excel file. Okay. So this is my source file. Okay. I'm saving this. Okay. It's a CSV file. Okay. So I'll remove all this. I don't want to keep this. Let me remove it. Okay. CSV source is my CSV. Target is a Parquet file example. Okay. So I'll make it as Parquet here and then update the Parquet file path here. Okay. So let me take one Parquet file. Control C and then paste it. And paste it. Okay. And you can see target type is Parquet and then type is path is this. Okay. And then query is not required. Primary key for you can modify these fields. At this moment, in the interest of time, I'll just go ahead and run for one test case. So I'll keep count validation alone now. Count alone. Okay. So this is not connecting to any database, and we don't need these details also. Let me remove this part. So it's just only simple validation file to file. Okay. Source file is CSV, target file is Parquet file. Okay. Let's see whether it will execute or not. Okay. So it will execute or not. And run. Okay. Oh, one moment. One moment, guys. Sorry. I think it is failing. Okay. When you get an error, don't worry. Okay. Try to see the error message properly. So Python will give detailed error message with the error line where it is. Okay. See line number 24. So runner.py line number 24 is the issue. Go to the line number 24. So we are in the runner file. Line number 24. Okay. Line number 24. So this is the line number 24. And you see here. Okay. Separator equal to row of separator. Header equal to row of header. Okay. So we don't need these details itself. Can remove this part together. Okay. So these are the default values. Let me rerun it again. Okay. So next time it is line number 31 is the issue now. Okay. So line number 31. Okay. So just see the line number 31. So it's actually file path. So we are passing as a path. So let me change it and rerun it. So next issue is pi arrow. Let me fix this issue also. So one by one, okay. See, now it is not issue with the code, okay. It is not issue in the runner.py. Okay. So line number 31. So 31. So when it went to the line number 31, so it is calling one function. This function is available in another file, read library.py. So now we see read library.py, line number 14 is the issue. Line number 14 is this, right? It is trying to read the Parquet file. So when it is reading Parquet file, it is failing because of it needs some dependency package. See, missing optional dependency package pyr on Parquet. So fast Parquet. Let's install these two libraries. Okay. Go ahead and install. Okay. So install any version is fine. Let's install other version. Let me go back and pyro fast Parquet. Okay, and then paste it. So if everyone is installed same version, right, we could have uh, not found these many issues. Okay. So I think I'm using one version, you guys are using another version. That's why we are facing some difficulties in running the code. But any version, I'll tell you, I'll take one of your screen and then explain how to fix the issues. Okay. So now let me run it again. So dependency is also installed now. So now at least we should execute the code. Okay. It's okay. Now you can see, right? This is the source data frame. This is the target data frame. You can view the data also. So this is the Parquet data, Parquet file data, and this is the CSV file data. You can clearly view in the tabular format here now, right? So tabular format now. So if it is Parquet, we don't have any editor to edit, right? Now we have the Pandas data frame, which actually reads and then display data to you. So if you want to modify, right? If you want to modify this email to some different email, you can modify. So Pandas has that ability to modify this value. We can do it, right? And once after it, right? So it is also see count is not matching between source and target. Source count is 12, target count is 1000. Difference is minus 988. Okay, so the contact info has 12 record, but target has that Parquet file has 1000 record. That's why it is failing. Okay, and count validation is complete. Likewise, if you want to run duplicate check, null value check, you can run it. Okay, so it might have already created one more file here. Let me show you the file. Let's see, yeah, report file. I say report.txt. Whatever it is printed, it is also loaded to this Excel, this log file also. Okay, log. Now one of you share your screen. I'll just fix the issue. So I'm done from my end. If you want to run like database, right? Let me give you the database details also. 1 second. So not next week, next to next week, right? Like the 26th week, right? We will do one more workshop. So where we will take this framework to the next level. So we will do the CI/CD integration to this framework, and then we'll also cover like test data generator, like if we like synthetic data generator. We I'll cover. Okay. So next week, not next week, next to next week, we'll do one more live workshop. Okay. So in the meantime, if you want to know more about our training, if you want to enroll, right? So we have already portal. You can directly enroll, and you can message me in the WhatsApp. Okay. I will add you to the next group. And you can join the classes from tomorrow if you want to join the live session. Yes, yes, for every session we give the recordings. So you can join the live sessions and you can also get the recording. So this recording I won't share. The live sessions morning 7 to 8, guys. Okay. So if you want to enroll, you can enroll. You can also call me if you want to know more about the training, right? After this class, we will discuss about your questions if you have any. Okay. Okay. So I'll maybe one of you please share your screen. We'll try to fix all your issues at one go. Okay. Lifetime. We give lifetime access now. Earlier we were giving 6 months, 1 year. Now we made it anyone. So I'm pushing the code now to the GitHub. You already have the code. You can also let me push 1 second. Yeah, anyone like I'll stop my screen share. You can share your screen. Who wants to share your screen? Praveen, okay, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I can see your screen now. Praveen, I will unmute you. Okay, you can talk 1 second. Let me unmute. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope my screen is visible, right?
Yeah, I have unmuted you. You can go to the GitHub now. You can just copy paste the code from GitHub. Refresh this page now.
Yeah, I just refreshed.
So in the runner.py, yeah, copy this complete code. Just drag and drop your mouse. Copy.
This one, right?
Yeah, you can also yeah, you can also copy from there also. No, no, not raw. Go back. You see the yeah, right to the raw, there is a copy button. Yeah, copy raw file. Yeah. And go to your PyCharm and remove this complete code and paste it here. So one change you need to do, go on the top, update the test case. Okay, okay. Can you, okay, read like utility. You created utility, right? Utility read library, validation library. Now you see, you created validation library, not library. Just rename it. The left navigation, in the left side, your project, the left side.
And to install, right?
You get validation LIBR, it should be LIBRARY, but you create
No,
LUBRARY. In the left side.
I need to install,
Can
right?
you
This one,
talk, Praveen?
but
I'm
it's
not
not
able to hear
showing
you.
any option to install.
Guys, if you're not able to talk, let me know, okay? So it's unnecessary of wasting my time and your time. So on the left side navigation, there is a folder called utility. Under this, you created wrong name. So for reporting, you created R porting. For validation, you created. Yeah, like who wants to share? Go ahead and share, guys. So let me unmute. Who shared? 1 second. One moment. Who shared the screen? Raj, 1 second. Let me unmute here. I'll unmute 1 second. Yeah, I have unmuted. This accept it.
Yeah, Srini. Can you hear me? Hello.
I'll give option to everyone to unmute yourself. So you can unmute now. I just enabled everyone to unmute. You can unmute and talk now.
Yeah, but can you hear me, Srini?
Yeah, we can hear you.
How to take GitHub, go to local. So you need to pull, you need to clone first. So Raji, can you talk? I'm not able to hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me, Srini?
I think, can someone confirm whether you are whether you are able to unmute yourself?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yes.
We are
Yes,
able
we
to.
can hear.
Okay, 1 second.
Actually,
Fine.
I'm back because of technical connection. I lost in between.
Okay, okay. Now I can hear you. Sorry, I think my bad. Like my audio is turn it off. Okay, I can hear now.
Yeah,
So
can
who
I
is
share
sharing
the
screen?
screen?
1 second.
Yeah, can I?
Yep. Like who's sharing screen now?
Yeah,
Me, it is
Raji. Okay. Yeah, place the okay. Snowflake, you were getting this error. Huh? What is the error now you are getting? This is the error, Snowflake error.
Yeah, connector.
So go to the Snowflake. 1 second. It's in the read, right? One moment. I'll just give exact name. So yeah, so go to your left side panel. You see the packages, right?
Yeah.
In the left side packages, in the left side navigation, in the bottom, yeah, here you see the packages, right? Yeah. So here you just type Snowflake, FLAKE.
Yeah.
Okay. So install this one, yeah, Python, yeah. Install this Snowflake connector -Python. You need to install it.
Yeah, I'm trying to install it.
Or you can uninstall Py Snowflake and then reinstall. Yeah. But anyway, if you are worried about Snowflake now, you can remove it, that part alone, and then run the code. It should work.
Okay.
Okay, 1 second. It is why you are in, okay. No, very simple fix. Yeah, install this Snowflake connector Python. It is not installed.
Yeah, it is not installing while I'm installing.
Okay, do one thing, uninstall Py Snowflake and install Snowflake directly from here. So guys, everyone who is facing issue with the Snowflake, right? So we are not running any Snowflake test cases now, but still I'm covering, okay? Maybe like time is not permitted me to cover other topics. So I have another topic called synthetic data generation. Maybe I'll cover this as part of the next workshop, okay? So only thing is you just inform to your friends and colleagues about my training. That is the only need from I need only that from you. Okay. So it's anyway free of cost, right? If they want to enroll, they will enroll. Otherwise, they will just listen and then go. Okay. So consider this is just a one step you are taking for your career, right? So nothing harm, or maybe you are not losing anything. You are just losing 3 hours of your time. That's all. Okay. Please inform to your friends and colleagues. So we are doing multiple workshops going forward. So I'm not going to do any demo going forward. We only do the workshops. So I will be like, if somebody joins my workshop, they will be learning at least one new thing on that specific day and then go. So not every advance, because I'm also like trainer, right? So I should also get some learners. So I cannot give everything, but at least I'll try to give whatever I can do. Can be. So now I think the connector, now the issue is resolved. If you see,
Yeah.
now you can go to the runner file and update this path also. 1 second.
This have to take a test case. This one,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. So if you're able to run, maybe you can drop off, feel free to drop off. Yeah, again, right? So if you want to enroll, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll guide you the next steps, how to enroll, and then all those details. So if you want to conduct workshops alone, yeah, it takes some time for us to come back the different workshop, because we are also working professional, right? I can't do every weekend. Yeah. So yeah, you decide it. And then if you want advanced topic at one go, you can enroll directly. So we have live sessions going on now. So last week we started. So from tomorrow we do the actual sessions. And then so if you want to go offline and see the recordings, we have the recording plan as well. You can choose one of it. You can keep R before it. You don't need to add manually all of it. If you keep R, that solves the complete problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. No problem. This is also fine. This is the second option. You can make backward slash to forward slash. Okay. One more thing, go to the library, reporting library, reporting code. Yeah. So here also you need to change. Okay, you already made. Okay. So here, no. Here we have to add the library, like reporting folder.
Okay.
So reporting folder you need to add here. Create one. Yeah. So this path you copy and paste it there.
Like only path we have to copy.
Yeah, copy the path. Yeah, reporting absolute path
Okay.
and paste it there. So guys, everyone just see like same mistakes you might have done. Now right click. Yeah, right click. I'll tell you. Right click on it. Copy. No, copy absolute path. Copy. No, not that copy. Below one. Copy path reference. From top fourth option. Yeah, absolute path. Yeah. Now you replace path here.
Okay.
Keep R before to the double quote. Yeah. 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 Now go back to runner.py. So in the runner.py utility validation library, count validation duplicate check. Okay, 1 second. Go to the validation library. One moment. So count validation is the name. 1 second. Utility, expand utility folder here, the left navigation. Yeah, so just check it once. Now go to your runner.py. We'll see the issue. Runner.py. Yeah. So utility utility validation library. Okay. Can you type it again? Like from in the line number 3, the last
Okay.
two. Yeah, remove it these two and then type manually. Count utility. You're not getting.
No.
Now do one thing. Remove up to utility. Yeah, now type manually utility. Yeah, select first one. Dot validation. Validation library. Select, yeah. Import count. You can keep R star here. Keep star. It will import everything. No, space. Yeah, and then star. Okay. The second OpenFlow Excel, install this one. Yeah, install package. No, place the cursor. No need to select anything, just place the cursor. Okay, place the cursor. No, don't click anything. Place the cursor, that's all. Yeah, you see install package OpenFlow, install it. Okay, so now open this test cases XLSX file in the local Excel editor. No, don't open this file. This file is in your downloads folder. Whatever you
Yeah.
made it change, it may not reflect in the file. Yeah, right click here and then go to open in, yeah, Explorer. So you open this file. Yeah. So here you modify the paths of your source and target. So remove the second, third, these details is not needed. 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Second is okay. 3, 4, 5, you remove it. Yeah. Delete it. Maybe you need to enable editing. remove it. Now modify these paths. Okay, first file path. This is my path. You update your local path. Maybe take input file path. Yeah, take any file.
Okay, I'll take CSV file.
Yep. So everyone follow the same steps. Maybe you might have done like not created reporting folder. So just change this backward slash to forward slash everywhere. Don't keep R here. R may not work here. Here you need to do add one more slash then. No. Control Z. Yeah. Add one more backward slash everywhere.
Okay.
2 slash. So there are multiple ways again. Okay. So you can use this option also. Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
So all these things we discussed in our regular classes, guys. Okay. So if you want to learn more, it's anyway fee is very less, right? So here you can change that CSV to Parkit, target type. Remove everything and then add new file. Maybe you want to use JSON file or any file.
Okay, from the input files only.
Yeah,
I can-
input files. Avro file, any file you take it. Yeah.
I'll take Parquet file.
So and paste it and then modify that 1 slash to 2 slash. Yeah. So this is a one-time activity, guys. Okay. So once you are done with the first time, right? From second time onwards, you will be just running the test cases. That's all. The initial setup is needed. Okay. This path setup and then like file delimiter, all these things. So you can ignore all these things. Yeah. Keep Y. Yeah. And then validation, just keep count now. Yeah. Save this file. Control S.
Yeah.
And go to your PyCharm. And then go to this part 1 second. There is you need to install 2 more packages.
Okay.
Yeah, so here fast Parkit, type fast Parkit, FAST. Yeah, this one, install this. Any version is fine. And PyArrow, install PyArrow also. So these 2 packages required to work with the Parkit files. Okay? Yeah, install this one also. Any version is fine. And OpenPyXL. OpenPyXL is also installed. Okay, then fine. Now you can run.
Okay, this one needs to be installed, right?
No, it is already installed. We did that already. And one small change in the line number 8 in runner file, right? Just modify this path to your path. So it is now taking my path. Yeah, replace this. Okay, fast Parquet is asking you to install other version. Just install other version. See, I think most of you got this kind of message, right? Could not find version that satisfies the requirement fast Parquet. So you need to use the different version. So go ahead and install latest version. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, below it's already there. PYPI, yeah, below. Install latest one. Yeah. So Python has this problem with the versions, guys. Okay, so most of the issues you get it with the versioning. So now I think she's using 3.13, right? So for 3.13, you need to install 3 point related dependency packages. So you cannot install, go back on old versions of fast Parquet PyArrow. Yeah, you in the meantime just yeah, I see some messages coming up. I'll answer all of your questions. A moment, guys. Go 53. 10 minutes. Okay. You replace, right? Okay, or okay. Now run it. Yeah.
I think still it is.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's skeleton. So always don't run current file. Okay. You see some message, no such file directory, test file. From like go up. No, here in the error only. In the error only. You see, yeah, 1 second. So it is saying error at line number 24. Go to line number 24. So everyone see how we are fixing issue now. So line number 24, right? So line number 24 is this. So while reading source file, it is failing. Okay. So it is still pointed to my file only, my contact in my test case file. You can see here, right? So users admin PyCharm file, it is my project path. So the Excel file you didn't save. Save that Excel file that you updated the paths. Save this file. Yeah. Now run it again. Why it is taking the same file? Um, Close this file and reopen it. I think the file is not saved properly. That's why it is taking. Okay, 1 second. Now read files and 1 moment. Scroll down a little bit. What is the issue now? It is issue with the different, not the previous issue. Okay, now I got it. Scroll down. Scroll down a little bit. It is saying no such file directory. Go up.
Okay, here only.
Yeah, here only. Okay. So it has two files. Okay. One is updated, other one is not updated. You can see here, right? 0 and 1. So both it is taking my folders.
Okay, the source target type.
And close this file and then open it again. Now this path is not coming. It is not taking this path. Close this file. Yeah, open this file again. See, it is not saved. Yes. It is not saved.
No, the target type is parquet in the saved folder.
No, that's fine, but the file itself is not saved. So anyone tried? Is it working for anyone? Guys, I'll do one thing. So I'll give access to tomorrow session. We try to fix these kind of issues in the tomorrow session, tomorrow live session. You join the tomorrow session, okay? Because it's already 4 hours, right? I'm like, it's hectic for me. I can't take any questions. I'll take questions, but I do not have patience now to explain. I know how to fix all these issues, but yeah, uh, because I'm already exhausted. Okay.
Yeah, sure,
Hmm?
Srini.
So
Yeah.
update the path and try to run. I think we fixed all the issues. Now it should run. But only thing is just check the paths. Okay. So
Yeah,
once
yeah.
path is corrected, it should work. I don't see any issues with the code. Okay. One
Okay.
thing. So join. I'll share the link in the same WhatsApp group that I have shared. Join that tomorrow session. So we'll fix all your questions and then everything. Okay. Because it's been 4 hours, right? I'm keep on talking. I'm already exhausted. So I'll take some break. Okay now. But like I won't give the recording of the same. If you want, you can just purchase the course. So all these things are explained in detail in the classes. So we have taken so many classes. It's almost 100 hours, right? You can just go back and watch if you want to. Just only count, not count check. Okay. So we planned for 3 hours, but I think you guys were engaging. I see like most of you were asking questions right time, right questions. I appreciate that. Let's see how many are there in the still call. 1 second. One moment, guys. Wait the session. So now it is taking path. Row of target path. So while reading target is filling, scroll down all the way. Line number 10, read files. UDF code. Just see the path, okay? I think it is issue with the path. On line number 31. Go to the line number 31. Line number 31. So while passing target path, just check the target path once in the Excel file once. So source path is fine. What is the target path? This is correct.
Yeah, it is correct only. Like I'm just taking that user's data and park it.
Go to the code once. Here also it is showing correct. Okay. File path. Okay, one second. File path, file type. Path, file type. Go to the read files once. And you are passing parquet, right? 1 second, I think. Go back to the Excel file. Excel file once. I see one issue. Scroll left once.
It is CSV source
Change it
type.
to no. This is fine. Right side. Scroll right. Here. Target type parquet. Yeah,
What you
change
got?
to parquet. Yeah.
Where is it?
So you can zoom out. It is 178 zoom. So just make it 100%. You will be able to see properly this Excel file. Yeah. Now scroll right. So column D. Yeah, parquet. Save this file and run it. Yeah, reason for two slashes, like Python considers the slash as escape character, so that's why. So you have to keep two slashes because your data is having, your path is having slash, so that's why it's failed to read. So either you add two slashes or add before R to the path or change path to backward to forward slash. So reporting folder is, it is there, right? Now just keep, no, I think go to the reporting one last time. I'll just quickly fix this issue. Go to the reporting. So you have, okay. So add one more slash and then put the reporting.txt. No. So on the at the end, reporting slash. This is also fine, but it will create under the your project folder, the file in the.
Okay.
Run it. It will work now. But you will find the report under the project folder, yeah, not inside the report folder.
Got it.
No, run not the current file, run the runner file. Go to the runner file. Now it's worked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where it got generated, runner to Python.
It is on the top, like on top of runner.py, it generated txt file. You can see. Scroll down. Yeah, you see from bottom second file. Reporting.txt.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is simple reporting. Yeah, we have to build some kind of visualization. I think somebody was asking HTML, right? So we can build HTML, we can build Allure reporting. So there are so many things. Those are covered as part of advanced training, guys. Okay. So I can't give everything as free, right? So understand me. Yeah, I'll stop it here today. Hopefully this session was helpful for everyone, at least to start with your journey with automation, right?
Yeah, it was great session, Srini. Yeah, we
Yeah,
will.
it was a good session. Yes, sir.
You can go ahead and start, Raji. I see many questions coming now. I'll answer, but I'm already exhausted. But I'll try to answer it. Okay.
Yeah, for
So if you,
tomorrow at 7 o'clock, right? Class.
yeah, tomorrow 7.
The same meeting link. You are going to share the meeting link, right?
Now, if you already enrolled, I'll like for them it is different class. So we will start with the Python. So there is an ongoing November batch. So for them, I'm covering framework now. So as part of that batch, I'll just include you for 1-2 sessions just to fix all of your queries. Because we started, I don't want to make you in the middle and then throw, right? So I'll make you framework work for at least one file and then one database and then leave it to you. So it's up to you. Then after you, if you want to continue my batch or not, it's up to you.
Yeah, actually, I enrolled a course.
Yeah. Then for you, yeah, we will be scheduling the call on the daily basis.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, so I think no, I think my system is hanged. I can't even see anything. I still see 21 people. I think from 80, I think now it is 20. That's fine. I think most of you engaged, right? So you were asking questions, I'm answering the questions. If any of your question is not answered, you have my number, right? So in the same WhatsApp group, you see me as admin. So 612 or 961 are my numbers. You can reach out to me at any point if you want to understand frameworks. So we have almost like 8 to 9 different frameworks, not just only one framework. The one which I gave you, it was 8-9 years old framework, right? So very basic framework that we implemented years ago. Okay, so the one which we have it now, advanced framework, that can be used for your project right away without modifying many changes, right? So think through it, and you don't see this kind of workshops or this kind of framework sessions in the YouTube, right? So they might tell you we'll teach this, that, and all. At the end, if you go and join the sessions, right, they will just give very basic one. So for free only we gave this much basic framework, right? So in advance I already shown all the different framework that I covered and every detailed information. So just think through it. If you like it, our training, go ahead and enroll to join the live sessions. If you want to see the offline sessions like self-paced learning, we have course in the portal. You can enroll offline as well. If I see still questions are coming in current batch where CDC CDF I never worked on. CDC, yeah, we covered. Even SCD type 1 type 2 is also covered. Silver. I recently started working as a data engineer as part of data from different data, cleaning it and then ETL testing for Pakistan. I want to understand how this course would like. Maybe you can call me Safan. We'll discuss. Okay. Okay, guys. Yeah. So I'll share the link for the live session. If anyone is interested to join that live session, you can still join. There is no fee. So if you enroll, then only fee. Otherwise, just a fee. So if I say free, it's free. Okay. So I'll share the code, the notes that we discussed, all the information, the Google Drive. You can take it and then you can keep for your reference. Okay, then. Thank you for your patience.